Welcome into the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 260.
Yoink.
Fueled by First Form, baby.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing today?
I feel like dog shit.
Hey, it's great to see everybody. Now we're doing video.
Yeah.
Cam wore his tight jacket today.
A little tight.
It looks good on you.
Not bad.
That's by Icane. Icane?
Icane?
It's Acane.
Acane.
Acane. They're out of Switzerland. It's
Looks good.
Peter Forsberg's company.
Looks pretty dang good on me.
Yeah. I almost wore that one today.
Andy gets the clothes for me, and he gives me an XL, and I'm a double XL. So the other ones are really, really tight, but this particular jacket fits pretty dang good, and I like it, man.
Yeah.
I feel like shit today, by the way, and I'm grinding it.
I thought you would be offended if I got you a double XL.
No, I'm double X.
I was worried
dude.
that if it came double XL that you'd be offended.
No. I don't get offended like you.
Because, well, I mean, a lot of people would. I mean, if all of a sudden you give them a T-shirt, you're like, hey, I figured you're like a double or triple
huge.
XL.
I'm 250.
They may find that a little bit offensive.
But
why are you grinding it there? I don't even want to hear it, dude.
why?
Well, what did you have to do?
Oh, I just stayed out Saturday night late.
Oh.
Late.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I get up early.
That's hard.
I mean, I get up at 4:30. I have a 45-minute
on
drive
your
every
own
fucking
to
morning.
do not. You don't have to get up early on Sunday.
Yeah. No, not on Sunday.
No.
It hits me now. God, I used to party like a rock star and be okay. If I stay out past 2 or 3 and I'm partying, like that Sunday is fucking wiped out. And then the Saturday or the Monday, I woke up goofy as shit this morning, but I'm good now, baby.
Yeah.
I'm good now. I'm wide awake. I'm ready to go.
I went to a party too on Saturday night.
Cool.
It was after the Blues game. Actually, I went and stopped by and met my wife, and like there was like an event, and people are like dancing all over the place with like a DJ.
Are you a dancer?
But I kind of am.
I could see you.
Yeah,
I could see you being fun at a
I
party.
kind of like do it in like a not serious way.
Like, show me something. The cameras are going like something like what?
I mean,
are
like,
you just like, God dang.
Oh.
Yes.
I may like grind up on my wife or something like that.
Yeah, that's easy.
Oh yeah, I like to do
just
that.
move your hips.
Yeah.
I used to hate going to like clubs though, and it's so loud, like bam, 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 and you can't talk to a girl.
Dude, I was
you got
never
Red Bull
into
vodka,
that.
fucking
No.
breath, and then now you have to like communicate by dancing.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this.
Listen, I've always been as you know, going way back. You know, I love the hip hop music. I love the rap music. In fact, I thought I was going to be a rapper at one point in time, years ago, when I used to freestyle for my buddies and like go to parties. I just like freestyle all the time. You remember that? And I used to freestyle.
No, I don't. I didn't know you did. I had no idea that you freestyle.
And I used to freestyle for you every once in a while as well.
Yeah, you're the king of the party,
dude.
man.
You played it on your radio show all the time.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like he doesn't
did.
even know. I'm like trying to like, hello, Cam.
Worry about yourself.
Cam is still affected by staying out late.
I'm
apparently, 48 hours later.
You know,
like,
I party,
get with
though.
the program.
You know I party.
You've heard the rapping before. You've heard.
You worry about you.
You've heard.
And I heard you are pretty dang good at it. But last week we did this, and Andy, of course, talks to me like I'm Ty sometimes. Before we do anything, he's so worried about me and my optics of what I do and what I say and whatnot. And I get sometimes I get you. But Andy comes up to me. He's like, hey. We're on camera now. Don't engage the camera. Here's what you need to do, okay? And I'm like, fuck, don't worry about me.
I didn't say that.
And then meanwhile, we couldn't clip off anything last week because Andy sat like this with his junk hanging out. And we're like, and the whole time, and it kind of ruined the whole thing. So he gives me a speech. And then, in the end, it's him that fucked the whole thing up.
I mean, they sent me the video.
Oh, God, it's so funny.
It's like the worst.
It's the worst posture of anybody
I'm like,
ever.
you can't put that up there.
I know.
That's how I used to drive back in the day.
Oh,
Cam.
yeah, dude. Like,
yeah.
It was
when I was,
like no care in the world. We're talking about important shit. And he's just lounging.
Man.
Not even on camera. So we had we got some good clips that are timeless, and we're going to put those out on some shorts. But you look at Andy's posture, it's fucking hilarious.
Which ones are timeless?
We talked about all kinds of funny shit,
but
we couldn't use it because of what you were doing.
I kept saying to Cam, I'm like, well, which clips do you want?
What did I tell you?
And you couldn't like come up with it. You're like, he knows.
I
told him.
I did tell you, didn't I? I told you, there's some funny ass names, dude. Jackie boy.
Give Jack a shout out.
Sick ass hair. God dang, dude.
Like the missing link.
If I had thick ass hair like that, I'd shave the sides. I'd fucking slick it back like a Viking. I love it, man.
You think he looks like a Viking?
No, but that's kind of
like is that a compliment? Like when I think of a Viking, I think of like a big, the horn hat and everything.
That's debunked. It's debunked.
Really?
Horns, yeah, Andy. did any research on anything besides hockey, you would know that that's debunked. They didn't wear horns on their fucking head. But they did have some crazy stuff, and they'd have braids in their hair and stuff like that. Well, they came up with braids.
The braids. Because my high school mascot was Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
you know about hair braiding.
Well, well, you tried to throw that one out there last time. I didn't realize that was even a thing.
Hair braiding?
Well, in the context that you put it in, no, I wasn't familiar with that.
Oh,
in prison and stuff like that.
Hair braiders in prison are you know.
Yeah.
It's just don't go to prison, Andy.
Dude, I ain't going there.
You ain't going to prison, man.
No.
Hell no.
I always think about those that are in prison who didn't do it.
There's some.
Yeah.
The prisons now are so overpopulated.
No, they're sitting in there right now, and they didn't commit the crime.
There's not. Listen, our justice system, it's not perfect, but it's still better than fucking
anywhere
else.
Kim Kardashian's trying to get them out. I told you that before.
I don't mind that. I like that. Go ahead, get them out. You know what? The prisons are so overpopulated, and I'm still curious if there's sentencing of guys that sold weed like in the 90s.
Well, of course there are.
I don't know if those guys got let out because there's so many people in prison now. Shit, man, like these gun violators go into prison, and all of a sudden they got to let somebody else out for this guy to go in there. It's kind of a pain.
Like a prisoner swap with BG?
Well, no, more like a guy did 15 years for a gun.
Did you see that exclusive interview on ESPN with Victor Bout?
Oh, no.
You didn't? Yeah, he was the one who was swapped for BG.
Yeah, the fucking crazy ass.
He kind of makes it sound like it was kind of all a big misunderstanding when he went to prison. Like he was not out to kill everybody.
That guy, he's killed a lot of people.
You think he could be like rehabilitated?
No, dude, that guy's
Just watch the interview.
All right.
Like
I'll watch it.
It was actually on ESPN. I saw it on ESPN.com. It was with that reporter who does like all like the hardcore like investigative reporting and stuff.
Really?
Like on steroids and Barry Bonds and all that back in the day. It's like he pops up like when there's like an Olympic, big like controversy or something like that, doping.
Yeah.
The cyclist, for example.
Yeah, Lancey boy.
Yeah, Lance Armstrong. This guy, like you don't hear from him, and then all of a sudden, like he just shows up and like gets like the biggest interviews.
Yeah, man. The Lance Armstrong thing, dude, he doubled down and doubled down and doubled down and,
Yeah, but he was like, he all of a sudden went from being really liked to like hated, right?
Hated. Well, he lied to everybody for so long.
His boys did too, I think, didn't they? Or they're the ones that like ratted out on him.
Yeah. No, he got jammed up quick, man. But then if you listen to the interview now, like he'll explain it now, he's pretty open about it and stuff like that. But he did raise a lot of money for cancer. Everybody had that little
Live Strong.
The Live Strong.
Oh, so should we like let him go ahead and cheat just to win? He did a lot of good for a lot of people.
No.
Or how do you think he should be revered in terms of history?
As a cheater, of course.
Cheater.
But what's he doing now?
But you don't feel that way about the baseball guys.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
No, I want them to do steroids in baseball. I said this before because I think it's really entertaining.
Yeah.
I think there's just so much more excitement whenever they're juiced out of their fucking minds, crushing the ball 525 feet.
I asked Cam the other day how many of the enforcers were juicing back in the day.
Back in the day, in juniors, we didn't get tested. I was fighting some guys that I could tell. Oh shit! Even when I played for the St. Louis Sting, man, we had some guys that were fucking jacked out of their mind.
What were you taking in junior?
I wasn't taking anything steroid, but I didn't need to. You know what? Like in juniors, man, I used to walk. I was 16 playing for the Sting, and I would wear a skull bandana underneath my cage helmet.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
like a Hoosier.
Yes.
Like who does that?
I did. Like I had no guidance.
Did you feel like that made you look like tougher or meaner?
Yeah, I was 16. I thought I was the toughest guy in the world. I wanted to look the part, so I wore this fucking badass black and yellow with skulls on a bandana underneath my helmet like a goddamn Hoosier.
Yeah. The bad coaching for not telling you can't do that.
Well, I didn't work on my skill that year at all because Rick Zombo got fired, and we had 50 swinging dick coaches coming out, and I was just fighting everybody as a kid, and I just. Hey, Cam, get the puck off the wall. Hey, Cam, how about you work? I didn't even know how to sauce pass. That's my first year to learn how to sauce the puck.
You still don't.
When I was 16 years old.
You still don't.
Okay. 10 years.
I mean, 10 years of saucing.
Yeah, I could sauce anything, dude.
Did you ever go cross-ice sauce in an NHL game?
Oh, probably.
Like to free somebody loose behind the D for a breakaway?
Yeah. Yeah.
I need video of that. I believe that you
Go
could
on
do
YouTube.
that. Although you couldn't catch my passes. Cam's on my line in Nashville.
Oh, fucker, you're terrible.
Just absolutely just
Oh, the guy's like,
ruined our line.
oh, I felt bad for Sean Muncy and a couple of these guys that had to play on a line with us because I had to switch it up because no one wanted to play with Andy. And so I had to like rotate so no one would just get stuck with us. the whole
Like
time.
Cam, where are you going?
No one believes you.
Where
No
are you
one, like,
going?
There's not one person listening. Like, I think Andy's right on this. I think Andy did pretty good in Camden. No, like, you're terrible.
No,
I wasn't that good either.
some people believe me.
Yeah, I bet they do.
I've got the live barn footage too. We should probably throw that up there.
Of what?
Hey, can I just throw something out? Because Cam, I will tell you, if you had a kid right now playing hockey, the one thing that would drive you crazy the most is everyone like sits on top of one another in the locker room, you know, and like people bring in their entire families and everybody like hangs out, you know.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
The family members can go in the locker room?
Well, there's no room. You got to get the kid, you know, tie the skates and all that.
They're still doing that. I forgot.
So like the siblings are in there, and like the aunts and the uncles and the grandparents. It's just like an all-out family affair. Okay?
Well, just how about one family member at a time?
We got to make that rule.
Well, then do it.
Okay.
Like
and
all these things that you tell me, it's like such an easy fucking thing to figure out.
well, I'm just,
I'll say one parent a fucking locker room.
Have you seen these big locker bags?
No.
Oh my God.
What do you mean? The ones that you roll?
Yeah, and like you open them up and they got all the different compartments,
Boxy,
dude, and they're huge. And
those are cool.
No.
Why?
They take up the entire dressing room, dude.
Okay.
They take up the entire
You can't
dressing
smash
room.
it down and put it underneath?
No, so like you're like you can't even like it's like having an extra like 2 people per locker bag.
You need some discipline, dude.
So
You need to make
is
some
that
rules
bad to say like, hey, you can't have a locker bag?
Well, when guys are tripping and falling, you have no room to
There's no room.
tie your skate to get organized.
Yeah.
I would make a rule on that.
Okay.
One family member, get these stupid ass bags out of the way. You don't have that much equipment at that age anyway. Your equipment's tiny. You just use a bag and carry your bag.
Yeah.
And so the locker room has some leeway, so I don't have to step on other bags with my skates and fuck up my skates after I just got sparks to sharpen the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Now I go toe pick and fall and break my AC joint.
Yeah.
Clean up the locker room, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you. My kid, his bag is like the size of like an oversized like coaching bag.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like an oversized. So it's not
That's
like
pretty good.
Yeah, it's like that's.
Does he carry his
That's
equipment
all
home?
you need. Now he does.
I hope so.
Yeah, he does.
Wait.
No, he does. No.
I did see a picture of Lori, I believe, carrying his bag, and I was going to tell you, and I forgot about it.
Okay, well, I wasn't there for that then.
You wouldn't let that happen.
No.
No way.
I've got pictures of him carrying his own
I hope
bag.
so. I'm just saying.
Dude, right here.
There it is. I saw that one. I
Okay.
saw that one. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, so he carries his own bag. In fact, I'll give our coach a shout out because he made a good rule where kids now have to carry their own bag.
Remember when we were young, like the mom would carry my dad would get, I remember my dad coached. He'd be like, no. The mom would come in. This is when we were like 10, 11, 12. And they'd come in the locker room and they'd be like, no, you can't do that. And no, he's got to carry your own bag.
What age do the moms stop coming in?
Fuck, I don't know. You tell me.
No, you got to tell me. I'm asking you the question.
I say fucking 9.
Oh, really?
9?
Okay.
Are they able to tie their skates tight enough at 9?
No, but
okay, then that sucks. But
at 9 they might be able to.
Say.
Yeah, at 9, I don't know.
I never.
My kid's at 7. I'm tying his skates, but
because he's just not strong enough yet.
If a mom has to take a kid to practice, because sometimes that happens, you know, the dads work, Cam, they travel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they do different things, and they can't go to practice.
I know.
So all the mom has to do is ask one of the coaches or ask one of the other dads to help tie the skates.
Yeah.
And everybody's willing to help out with them.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
And it's
but sometimes the moms, they're rolling the bag in.
I know.
Or the dads are rolling the bag in.
I can't help myself. If I see it at Centene, I'm walking out of Centene, and I don't even know the people, I'd be like, whoa, you're not carrying your bag? Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I say
That's kind of being like a psycho, though. You're kind of like
Kind of.
Well, a little bit. So you'll say something to a complete stranger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I will. Not being a dick. I'd just be like, oh, mom's carrying your bag? Oh, okie-dokie, you know.
What kind of sunglasses you going with today?
These are cheap.
Are those blue blockers?
No, they're cheap. They're cheap because I ruined, my head's so goddamn big to where I need this long,
yes.
It goes all the way because my head is long. And I got
you have a long head?
I got a long, weird, goofy looking head. And so glasses fall off me if I lean forward and shit, but these are kind of comfortable. I'm just trying to hide my face because it's puffy. Because I was just partying all weekend. I can look at my face. And
did you
like,
do anything cool? I told you I was dancing, and it was a very big event Saturday night after the Blues game, by the way.
Yeah.
First home game of the year. Always good to be back there and watching NHL hockey.
You look good
live.
on TV.
Oh, thank you.
You look a lot better on TV then than you did last time we were in here.
It was like a nut shot.
Jesus.
Is that like a shot I'm not familiar with? I was so excited. Jackie Boy is like, hey, I'm going to send the video. And I go to look at the video, and all I see is, I'm like, Cam, you can't put this up there.
Oh, I am.
And he wanted to so bad.
Oh, I know. Like, I'm like playing with the camera. I'm like talking to it, blah, 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 doing this. And Andy's just, what the fuck? I didn't even notice that you were doing that.
No, because the chair's broken, and that's how I always do it when we're doing audio, but now we're doing TV.
Especially after he calls me before we go in there and tells me what I need to do in front of the camera.
Yeah.
He's the one that fucked it.
I did watch some wildlife videos. I'd like to get those in there when I can. Real quick, a very rare standoff cam in Yellowstone. Almost never seen before.
What?
Polar bear versus a pack of wolves. Now, a polar bear.
Wait.
Yeah.
At Yellowstone?
I think it was I don't know. I can't confirm.
You're telling me there's polar bears and you are.
Dude, no.
Don't
take that out.
Jackie, don't edit any of this. I'll tell you what to edit. You're trying.
Okay, no, it was Alaska, I think.
Yes.
It was Alaska. Because there was another one in Yellowstone that took place. It was a bear and a rhino, I think, or something. Or it wasn't the rhino. It was a bear and something else.
Are you okay?
In Yellowstone. Dude, I'm trying to remember. There's so
rhino?
many videos. I saw a bear versus a rhino.
Do you think there's rhinos in fucking North America?
No.
Are you
but
out of
I'm
your
saying
mind?
I saw
No,
one with a rhino as well. Because I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Well,
and
Jesus.
the location doesn't really matter.
Yes, it does.
No.
There's no rhinos here, homie.
Yeah.
They're in Africa.
I saw a pack of wolves and a horse, too.
That's North America.
Who wins that race?
The horse.
Thank you. Because the horse got away.
I mean, not by much.
Okay, so anyway.
Not by much.
Never seen before standoff. We've never seen this in the history
of a polar bear and a rhino in North America?
Polar bear and a pack of wolves. And the wolves are
Absolutely.
surrounding them, and they're trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to do this, whatever.
Did they get them?
Okay, first off,
wolves don't swim.
You know the polar bear has a stronger bite than a shark.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It could crack the skull of any of those wolves with one bite.
Yeah, no, I know. That doesn't mean it's stronger than a shark. A shark will bite it in half.
Never seen before footage.
Of what?
Of the standoff between the polar bear and the pack of wolves.
Just go on YouTube and type that in. You'll find 50 fucking pages of that shit.
Hey, if you
see each other all the time.
You see one with the polar bear and a pack of wolves, and send it to me.
Okay.
And they'll all be sending me the same one that I saw because it's a very rare occurrence.
I did see.
But they didn't get to the polar bear.
Oh, good.
They kind of left it alone.
Yeah. I did see another kangaroo that was choking a dog in the river in Australia. And it was so jacked out of his fucking mind.
Choking
this dog, it's like this. And his arms were jacked, his chest was jacked like that. And just staring at this guy's filming, which is stupid. He's like, I got to get my dog. He's trying to kill my dog.
He's filming?
Yeah.
The kangaroo strangle his dog?
The kangaroo was jacked. His pecs are like blah, 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 blah. And he's staring into this guy's soul. And his dog's like, help me, help me. And finally, a guy tried to scare it. The dog runs off. God, those kangaroos.
I feel like this happens all the time in Australia.
Dude, I told you the one that tortured that town.
Australia terrorizing towns. You have kangaroos terrorizing
you know what else is?
people.
Remember about 5 years ago around Halloween time when all those clowns started popping up everywhere and staring into people's cameras on their front porch.
I don't remember that.
Remember that?
It's Halloween.
You remember that? When they were everybody's like, there's this, they all kind of came together on social media and they started going out at night dressed as Pennywise the Clown, staring, going up to yes.
Was that a local
really
thing?
It just became, you know how you do some shit and it just picks up. Yeah, dude. And that's starting to happen over in Scotland now where these clowns are getting together. And they're just terrorizing these little towns and just torturing people. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, living way the fuck out by me, and I see a goddamn clown in my backyard. I'm doing something about that, man.
What are you going to do about it?
Confront it? What the fuck are you doing?
I've never understood the fear of clowns. That's a real thing. People are actually afraid of clowns. You knew that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're seriously afraid of clowns.
Yeah. You know what happened in the 70s?
What happened?
Well, fuck. Bobo the clown.
Wasn't that a TV show?
Wait, no. John Wayne, that was Bozo. This John Wayne Gacy, I think, was Bobo the clown.
And he was dressed like a clown and
Yes.
going around like murdering people?
Little boys.
Oh, my
Little
God.
boys. He'd kill these little boys and
Why
stick
do you
them.
have to bring that up?
Because it was a big deal, and he's a clown. He's the ultimate. He is Pennywise the clown.
Oh, so
that's a real life thing.
Why do they call him Pennywise?
John Wayne Gacy was in Illinois, and he started kidnapping these little boys. And he killed all these kids and stuck them underneath. He'd have this little crawl underneath his house, and he'd bury them underneath his house. Real life. There's real life monsters in Illinois. That's in the United States, Andy. It's right across the river over here. I'm telling you,
I'm familiar with it.
There's real life monsters out there, and John Wayne fucking Gacy was one of them.
Why do they call him Pennywise?
Pennywise is just a Stephen King novel. That's Stephen King. I was watching.
So that novel was created off of Bobo the Clown?
Yeah, something to do with it. Stephen King has such a warped mind. I love him, although he's a little too political now. But I love Stephen King. I was watching interviews about Stephen King in the 80s, breaking down where his mind goes. He was doing a lot of cocaine back in the day, too. And he'd get this writer's block, and he'd stay up and do this and do that. You know who he looks like, Stephen King? Tom Stillman.
I was going to say Larry King.
Tom Stillman, the owner of the Blues.
Yeah.
Tom Stillman.
Okay.
Looks just like him. You just had him on your radio show.
Yeah, we had him on TV, too, on Saturday as we were bringing in another season. He's a great chairman.
Great guy. Good dude. Really good guy.
Yeah.
Like him a lot, man. Yeah, it's scary outside now, baby. Halloween's
coming
around.
Hold on. The origin of being scared of clowns started with this Illinois situation on Halloween, or was it going on well before that?
No. I mean, when you have a murderer in a small little town of Illinois who's like, I think he's like on the board of like this and that. Like he was well respected and stuff. And he's big. He's a big, scary looking dude. John Wayne Gacy. And so this happened in the 70s, man, and they couldn't find it. They couldn't figure it out. The wife's like, I don't know. What happened there? I don't know. He's killing kids.
Who was that serial killer recently in New York City who was like selling insurance or whatever?
Yeah, the other big guy.
And he was a big guy, too.
He killed the prostitutes and threw them on the beach in Long Island.
Did they ever arrest him?
Hell yeah. It took 10 years.
Wow.
He's like 6'5". Yeah, he was killing prostitutes.
There's people.
He's smart about it.
There's people rolling around right now. Somebody you might even know somebody who like is on the loose, who's a fugitive, who's been hiding for years.
The scariest dude in the world just died. The scariest dude in the world just died. He's this guy from South America who killed 160 boys.
Oh my God.
160, and he tortured them. Necrophiliac. You know what that means?
I don't.
When they're dead, he stole
them. Well, dude, this is becoming a very scary
it's Halloween
episode.
time, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy. And then I heard that they're letting him out, and he died. They're going to let him out of jail.
Why?
I don't know. He found Jesus.
This all started with Victor Bout. He did an interview.
He's crazy, too.
He was part of the prisoner swap. I kind of think he's been rehabilitated. Watch the interview. No, watch the interview. I'm just curious if your opinion...
He sold arms, didn't he? Didn't Victor Bout sell arms?
He was accused of it.
I think they made a movie out of him or something like that.
I don't know.
Lord of War with Nicolas Cage.
Did they make a movie out of BG yet, or?
You love her, right? And he loves BG so much, like he does. Brittany Griner.
Who won the final? Is that still going on?
Who do you like more, Megan Rapinoe or Brittany Griner? They're both like American heroes to you, aren't they?
Well,
aren't they?
That is a tough one.
That's so funny.
That's a difficult. That's like saying, Gretzky or Lemieux, who's the best player of all time. Although some people would answer that very easily.
Hey, if you said to Chloe, hey Chloe, I'm going to take you to a WNBA game, would she like to go, or would she be like, fuck that, I want to see the men go?
Oh God, I mean,
what do you think
about the WNBA versus the NBA?
Yeah.
I think she'd probably rather go to the NBA game.
Yeah, okay. I'm just asking.
And she follows neither league. No, she's not following the WNBA. She couldn't name one team in the WNBA.
Yeah, most women don't.
Oh, I would say that's not true.
That is 100%.
What about in the WNBA
I just look
markets?
Look at courtside a WNBA game. There's a bunch of nerds with masks on, like, I am cheering.
That is not true. They're just into the game.
So funny, man.
You think that they're still wearing masks and stuff like that?
It's all good. No big deal. No big deal, baby.
Well,
Hockey season's here.
Who won the final?
Liberty came back or something.
They've had to have won 3 or 4 titles now in their existence.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They had Rebecca Lobo back in the day. She was 6'5", maybe a little taller than that. Had a good inside game outside.
She did,
game.
didn't she?
National
She went to
champion
the paint.
at UConn. Great dunker.
Great dunker.
Hockey is here.
It is.
And it's really kind of just come in full swing. I love the first couple of games.
Yeah.
I love the first couple of games. Everyone's excited in Toronto because Auston Matthews is scoring goals. So listen, Auston Matthews are going to put it out there right now, not just because he's had back-to-back hat tricks, but he's done it before. This guy scored 62 years ago. He's coming off of a Hart Trophy 2 years ago. He'll be a Hart Trophy finalist once again this year.
Probably.
He's on a mission. They still can't play defense. Hey, all y'all in Toronto, I love all y'all in Toronto. I want you guys to do well. You got Reaver there, Bertuzzi. You're way more interesting now than you had been before. Okay, but you got to keep the puck out of the net. If you don't defend better, don't even talk about like Stanley Cup. You can get through the regular season with your firepower offensively, but in the playoffs, we know it's going to be a completely different story. And the way they're giving up goals right now is that would be a concern. That would be a concern.
Hit you.
Yeah, and Matthews isn't going to score 3 goals every game.
No,
either.
He's not.
But he's going to hit 55 goals this season.
Like Reaver's been crushing cats.
Yeah,
he had a good scrap with, pretty good scrap with our boy Marcus.
Jack Guy?
Oh,
Foligno, yeah.
No, let me tell you about the Jack Guy thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's all hyped up. You've been talking about it. Jack Guy's been talking about it, too. They kind of chirp each other. And Reaver goes out and smashes a couple cats right off the bat. And he hits a guy kind of from behind.
A little bit from behind, yeah.
But, like, why jump him there? Why not just look like this and back up and take your fucking bucket off and go toe-to-toe at center ice? Square off. Why jump him and then throw him down? Then you get a 2, 5, and 10. Or you got 7 minutes, I think, for instigating. Why do that? Reaver's going to fight you. Just tap him, back up, and have a good one, dude. You've been talking about it the whole time. You dressed up. You dressed like you bought the suit. He's looking good. He's doing his thing. Reaver's crushing guys.
Who bought the suit?
Jack Guy. He looked good walking in. I saw the camera when he did that.
He's cool, man.
He's cool as hell.
Yeah.
But just like, you don't jump him. You don't need to just jump him there. He's going to go you. Just tap him, back off, and go. You jump him, now you get a penalty, and you didn't even throw a punch.
Well, I can understand that. That's the argument. I think if you're the Montreal Canadiens, like, here's why you shouldn't do that, because we got the extra penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You don't need to take an extra penalty.
But I will say the play happened so fast. I mean, it was a very vicious hit from behind. So in that situation, is it? And I'm going to ask you, because some would say, well, it's just reactionary, right? Right away, you just grab him right away. And it wasn't like he just started beating on him from behind. Eventually, they kind of were facing each other.
Just back off.
And Reaver wasn't able to get like a good grip on him. Then he gets pushed over the back of the net,
just
a la Brady Tkachuk on Shea Weber back in the day.
Yeah,
a few years back.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But like, you want to fight him. Like, he's going to go you, dude. Mm-hmm. He already ran a guy anyway, so anytime you're out there together at the very beginning, you're going to try to fight him anyway.
So Reaver said that, right? He said he jumped me.
He did.
And I don't have the exact quote in front of me. I Brody pulled it up. I can read it to you. But he basically said he jumped me.
Yeah.
But I will say this in Jack Eye.
I like him.
He's Wi-Fi, we call him too, man. I like him too. And he is legit tough. So I don't want to paint this as if like he is like scared to fight.
No.
Like that,
I always say this when this kind of shit happens.
Yeah.
You don't need to jump the guy.
But let me say this:
fight you.
If I was, from what I understand, Ryan Reeves had opportunities to fight him later in the game, and that didn't necessarily.
Well, that's your second fight.
Didn't get to that point. So.
That's your second fight, then, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay. Don't you get booted out of the game?
In junior, I think you do.
No, I think in the NHL you can't have 2 fights anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Double check that.
Double check that, Brody, please. Thank you. Yeah. So it's like that's your time to do it.
I don't think that's true. Okay. Don't guys still fight and then come out of the box and fight again?
I think there's one fight.
Wow.
I know.
I apologize if I didn't know that.
I could be wrong, Andy.
Yeah, I could be wrong too.
I don't want to get fact checked.
Well, my people will definitely do that.
Oh, and they didn't do a good job last time.
Yeah, they did. My guy in Saskatchewan.
Well, it's all about one thing about prison. Every prison's different. So he's like, oh, one you can't do this.
Cam's like, you can't have coffee in prison.
In max security?
Can't have coffee?
Fuck.
Of course they
You can't have anything.
You can have cigarettes and coffee.
In max security prison? I don't know, man.
Dude,
you're not allowed to do
if you're in prison for life, which most people are probably, or a lot of people are in the max security.
Max security, dude.
You're in a hole. Every video I've seen, which are very scary documentaries, like you watch Locked Up abroad or anything like that. Yeah, like scary shit. I won't watch those when it's dark outside,
Yeah.
Or if I'm home by myself.
No, well, that's real life shit.
Okay,
Those are the guys breaking in your house.
Anyway, they're all smoking cigarettes in the yard.
Okay, all right, you got me. What else you got?
I think they wake up to coffee and crossword puzzles,
What
too.
else you got, you know?
So Auston Matthews, congrats on a great start. Toronto, man, you're looking better. But at the end of the day, you got to defend, like I said. And whatever, Ryan Reeves is coming out. He's making his presence felt right off the bat, which you knew he would.
He's killing guys. Is Erik Karlsson hurt?
Probably.
Like, 3-4 weeks right off the bat? That sucks.
What are you talking about?
Didn't he get hurt? Erik Karlsson?
God. Cam's just like throwing things out. I mean,
what the fuck did you just say? You just drew something out too. Talking about Jack Eye and shit. Like, who cares? We're talking hockey.
Okay, I don't think Erik Karlsson's out for 3 to 4 weeks.
Nope.
Double check that.
No, he's not. All right.
You just scared all of Pittsburgh.
Well, he should be fine.
You're asking me if he's hurt. Like, he gets hurt a lot over the course of his career, so I just said,
I thought I read something this morning about him getting banged up, and he was out, and I'm like, oh, shit, that sucks. All good. No big deal.
Hey, at the top of the picture, it'll tell you what date it was written.
Yeah, I could have just always a scam.
It could have been like 3 years ago.
My bad.
A story from way
it's all
back.
good.
Yeah, that
I
happens.
admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong there. My bad. Sorry.
No, it's
Pittsburgh
okay.
fans, I love
just
all
don't
y'all.
scare the people.
I love all
But I will say Pittsburgh has rebounded nicely.
They're fine.
They lost
Fun to watch.
one of the worst losses I've seen in a long time, honestly, when they lost to Chicago. Having a 2-0 lead, yet all offseason to get ready for the game and to be excited about Karlsson coming to Pittsburgh. You're on home ice. You got Connor Bedard on the other side. That's all everybody's talking about. You think you just want to, just run them out of the building.
Yeah.
National TV, and you give up a 2-0 lead. Terrible loss.
It was bad.
But they've rebounded, and Evgeny Malkin looks unbelievable. He's putting up, crazy points already, scoring goals, getting some assists. Wasn't great in that first game, I guess, against Chicago, although he had a bunch of chances, but they weren't able to capitalize. And Crosby's scoring, man.
I saw somebody tagged me in something where some chick reached out to Connor Bedard. I don't know if it was a porn star or something, but there was like, it's coming.
Who said that?
Somebody just reached out on I guess Instagram.
Was it a cougar?
Some hot ass chick. I don't know. She might have been a ripper or a porn star, and she's like, I want to know about Connor Bedard. I'm like, oh shit. I think he's just chilling, man. Like they're probably watching every move he makes. They don't want.
He is focused on hockey.
Exactly.
He's probably shooting pucks in his basement when he gets home.
Though, there's a lot of cougs that. God.
Well, of course there's going to be. Him. Hey, but I like what Taylor Hall came out and said, and basically hey, can we maybe just I'm paraphrasing. What? Let's leave him alone a little bit. I know he's got to sell the game. Yeah. And you look what the NHL did right off the bat. Back-to-back nationally televised games in Pittsburgh and Boston. Then you go straight to Hockey Night in Canada. Oh, yeah. And you let Canada get a piece of him, right? Which is important. They played in Montreal on Saturday night. So he's gotten the attention. I don't mind that. I mean, put him on national television every night if you want to. I don't have a problem with that.
I'll watch it every night.
But the coaching staff and everybody with Chicago should probably get a hold of, the in-game obligations. He doesn't have to do an interview with every broadcast after every period.
Yeah, and he says the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Just let him
he says the right thing.
Get in there and play. And especially since he's the second best rookie in the league.
What's he got so far points wise? I'm just curious.
I like Bedard an awful lot, but I like this Cooley dude.
Yeah. Logie.
I like Cooley. I like Arizona in general. What do you say? What does he got right off the bat?
How many points does he have?
Well, he got an assist again the other night. He's got 1 goal.
1 goal, 1 assist.
And
2. Yeah, 1 goal, 1 assist.
Maybe a couple of assists.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Just asking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on him. Mm-hmm. I mean, even people that don't even know how, God, this kid's everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere he goes.
But I don't mind that because you could have, a phenom coming into the NFL or a phenom coming into the NBA or a phenom coming into the WNBA, and they're going to get just as much attention.
They will, the WNBA for sure.
They get just as
Force
much.
Force it on you.
So, and
you'll watch this.
But the NHL, always kind of does this,
Yeah. No, they do. I don't mind it, man.
Yeah.
The kid looks good on camera. He's got the look. He's going to say the same thing
knows,
over and over again. But.
He kind of knows what to say. He's just
He's already prepped for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot, man. I'm honestly rooting for Connor Bedard.
But, in football, for example, Cam, the star players, they're typically available on the same day each week, same time. So, if it's Tom Brady, for example, who's no longer playing, but I'll use him as an example, or Patrick Mahomes, or Travis Kelce, who is having dinner again, my sources tell me, with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were seen holding hands in New York City afterwards.
They better hold hands because last time they didn't, it looked goofy.
When they just walked out?
Yeah.
We're dating.
We're dating, but we're not holding hands.
We don't hold hands.
It's whatever. Taylor Swift is good. She's fine.
And her movie's out.
She's fine.
Yeah. I was going to see if you and Kate wanted to go see it.
Nah, I ain't.
If you want to come with us.
I like Dua Lipa.
You keep going back to her.
Because she's sexy.
Yeah, but why is she the comparison
I don't
with
know.
Taylor Swift? Is she a singer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is she a big rock star?
No. She's poppy.
Yeah.
But she's sexy, dude.
Poppy.
Like Taylor, lovely woman. Mm-hmm. And, very successful.
You keep going back to this.
I'm just
Why
saying.
are you being critical of her
I'm just saying.
appearance?
Because I just like, God, if I'm Kelsey, I'm like, yeah, Taylor, but I'd be like, man.
You just don't like that hair. She's got those bangs on her hair. You know, maybe that's what it is.
Big
her hair kind of comes down.
Nah, that's cute.
Front.
That's cute. That's fine with me.
Okay. Well, then what is it? Because you're
know.
really going after her. Pretty hardcore right
I just said she's a lovely woman.
And we got a lot of Swifties who are listening. That's
really?
that's like the one.
Oh, the shit kickers in Saskatchewan. See, that's where Andy's just like, it's just out of touch, man.
Hey,
those shit kickers are like, fucking kidding me.
That's the one group I would not mess with right now.
Swifties?
I would just leave them alone.
Us.
Oh, they do.
No, they don't.
Oh, sure they do. They're a very powerful group. Very powerful group.
I'm just
anyway, so as I was saying, Patrick Mahomes, like the media there in Kansas City, they know he speaks whatever. I'm just going to throw it out there every Wednesday at 12:30.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you have to do that with Connor Bedard, but maybe protect him a little bit. This guy, like, you want him to, settle in and become like, among the best players in franchise history and just focus on that. He's going to have his media obligations. He's probably met those for the year already, to be honest with you, because he's done so much.
Yeah, I know.
But, like, I just hate to see anybody stretch too thin.
Has he got rocked yet?
Not
Con
yet.
dog?
Kinda. Yeah, he went into the wall really hard, remember?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like an open eyes hit, but he got kind of pushed from behind.
Okay, but he get, like, Gudist?
No.
Lately?
Well, Gudis hasn't played him yet.
Whoa.
And Florida, what the hell did you let him go for? I'm watching your defense. Oh my God!
Let him go, dude.
I'm watching your D, and I know you've got injuries, and you don't have Montour, and you don't have Ekblad, and I don't know when they're coming back. I guess Ekblad's been on the ice, but I hear like December or something like that.
Was a big part of that.
He was a huge part of it, and you're leaving like Barkov and Kachuk and these guys out to dry. They don't have Sam Bennett right now. I know the goaltender. I don't worry about him as much, because we all know what he's capable of doing. Goaltending, man, it's difficult to be the same guy year in and year out. It's hard. And if you don't have good D in front of you, I don't care how good the goaltender is.
Dude, you're going to get lit up.
Going to get lit
You're going to get caught. Last time we didn't give, probably because of your posture, the last time we didn't give.
What did my posture look like? Dude, it was like, it's like, dude, the seat was broken. First off, tell them that, because you got to like understand.
Yeah, but just like,
well, you didn't say it.
Half your head was like all the way over there in the back, and your crotch is hanging out. How'd you not know that? It's just like, how'd you not know?
I said,
you're a veteran.
I said, don't even,
damn.
Don't even like act like the cameras are there.
No, they are there. We gotta talk to the cameras, man. We're talking to the people, baby. Man, fuck. Look at my eyes. But Oshie, who did he? Oh,
Fantilli.
Whoa,
that's a welcome to the NHL.
Fantilli had his head up his ass.
Oh,
and Oshie's like, what, motherfucker? I'm gonna get you. Came in, like, played that perfect, stuck him, dude.
Oshie's a hitter, dude.
God, he hits hard, man.
Oshie's always been a great hitter.
Give a little shout-out.
But I will say this. My rookie rankings, Fantilli's my favorite rookie.
I thought you said Logan Cooley.
He's going to win the Calder.
Okay.
But Fantilli, I just like the way he handles himself. You know, you had Gretzky shoot him a text. Gretzky and JD are tight. JD probably asked him to do it, although maybe Gretzky did it on his own. That's one thing you get in hockey that you don't get from all the other sports. You get Wayne Gretzky texting you before your first game.
Yeah.
He probably did it to the Condog, too.
I bet he did. No, I think the Condog even talked about talking to Gretter.
Gretzky, they're like, his assistant was like, hey, Wayne, can you text, like, these 35 rookies that are making all at once, just a group text.
Wayne is so cool. I love Wayne so much, dude. He is so down to earth. Yeah. He doesn't give a fuck. He's not in.
What does that mean?
Because he does what he wants. If he wants to do this, he's going to do it. He's not in the mix on everything. Like, I got to control everything. I'm Wayne Gretzky.
Right.
He wants to be on camera. He'll be on camera. He wants to do that commercial. He has a commercial out that's really good, actually.
Lululemon?
Yeah, the Lululemon commercial where all the guys like, I'm getting naked.
Yeah.
And they're finding this guy and they're like following him. And then Gretter's like, rookie.
I
like,
think Sean Payton's in there too.
who's getting lit up like a Christmas tree.
Well,
it's all good.
That's for the NFL segment. Cam will break down college football coming up later in the podcast.
That's my jam.
But Sean Payton and Wayne Gretzky are actually really good buddies.
Are they?
They're both in Gaza.
In Gaza?
Gaza Ranch.
We don't get invited up there, do we?
Sure we do.
We did?
I mean, absolutely. Sometimes you just go. I mean, you don't have to be invited.
Andy would just go, show up like, "Hi guys, Andy's here.
Hey,
hi everyone."
Well, Cam's acts like, "Oh, you're not allowed to go there."
Oh, well, you're not. If you don't get invited, you can't just go to Gaza Ranch.
Public place.
You can go there and just golf.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about golf. I don't know how the golf rules are.
Well, I mean, that's part of it.
I understand that. I mean, like, it's probably a private club, but you probably know somebody. Yeah, you call Coop or somebody and be like, "Hey, can you help me with golf?"
Well, you had to call. I'm saying you have to call somebody and know somebody and set it up. I'm just saying, like, Andy's acting like he's getting invited everywhere. Gaza Ranch.
Gaza Ranch.
Gaza.
Hey, did you hear what they may be doing to the NFL draft? The NHL draft. Sorry.
Yeah, NHL like the NFL.
The NHL draft like the NFL.
That. Well, I mean, it depends on what round. If you got a 7th rounder that might not get drafted, why the fuck does he need to fly to so?
Well, he doesn't fly there anywhere. Anyway, I mean, you have your occasional 6th and 7th round picks, but a lot of kids who get drafted that late in the draft don't always go to the draft.
Okay.
Because they don't know for sure if they're going to get drafted, especially the European guys who are getting drafted that late. But I will say this about that. I think it's a lot of money these teams spend to fly everybody in for a week long.
It's true.
You know? I mean, you still got to bring the whole staff into St. Louis.
How about the first 4 rounds?
Or, wherever your team is.
4 rounds.
What do you mean, first 4 rounds?
I'd show up if I'm getting projected to go first 4
No,
rounds.
I think you just do it like the NFL does. You just bring in your top prospects. You have the green room for that one kid who like slips all the way to the 3rd round.
I like
you just keep showing them that kid. You're like, it's like here's Vladimir Samsonov who has not been drafted yet, and they keep showing him and his family, and it's like 2 rounds later. That may be some good television, although that doesn't typically happen in hockey like it does in some of these other sports. But I can understand why certain GMs, and I've heard a couple of them who would be behind it and say, you know what, we don't all need to be going to Nashville and Vegas and Buffalo.
That's fine.
Vegas is different. They don't even have a confirmation that it would be in Vegas next year. That could be part of the reason why they're looking to do this.
I just know, like, being a 4th rounder, like, it just was the coolest, one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
Getting drafted, talking to everybody, looking Lou in his face, shaking everybody's hand, taking pictures of my mom and dad. Like, I'm looking at pictures. My Bellet family was there. It's so funny looking. Louie and Arlene.
The old lady.
The old lady, man. And so, like, I went back, I looked at these old pictures, like, me and my mom and dad. Like, that smile on our faces. It was incredible.
Well, I will say this. That would take away a huge part of the experience for a lot of kids.
Fuck, man.
Because, the kids, part of that experience, although they only go up on stage for the 1st round picks.
I know.
2nd round picks, they still hear their name called. Yeah. They still hug their family. Yes. They still come down and then get the jersey from the team. Yeah. They still go in and they get their pictures taken for, like, tops.
Yes.
And get their hockey card and all that.
Of it.
The reception. Awesome. You party that night. You go out with your friends and family who are there with you. I'm with you, man. You're taking an awful lot. Because what would happen, Cam, is the agents would then have their own private parties. So with their clients, Yeah. And so that they all be gathered somewhere. So if some dude from like the, Helsinki Ice Dogs or something if he gets drafted in like the 3rd or 4th round, then he may be just hanging out with the agent, as opposed to being at the facility.
I remember getting drafted, and then my agent flew me home that night, and my parents were stuck in Detroit. And I went home, and we had a party at my mom and dad's house in the Blue Collar part of Eureka. And everybody started showing up. And that's the first time I sat with my wife, who in high school, she was like, I didn't talk to her in high school. She was a grade older, and I didn't talk to her in high school. But she showed up at my party that night. Kate did. And I remember vividly sitting there in my one of my chairs was kind of broken, like our house is just really, like we're struggling at the time. Like my parents were spending so much money. I didn't get signed yet or anything like that. The house is just like, but I didn't give a fuck because I was so proud. And I remember staring at my future wife, and I'm bragging to her, like, I'm going to sign. I'm going to have a Hummer. I'm back.
Is that the way you talk to her?
I did. I mean,
that is so embarrassing.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing. She's like,
I'm going to have a Hummer?
Yes, because that Hummers were big at the time in 2002.
They were.
And I'm like, I'm going to have a fucking Hummer, and I'm going to do this, and me. And she's like, yeah, her and her friends, hot friends, are like, oh, yeah, cool, Cam. I'm like, all right. Well, I just was confident, baby.
They're like, why did we even come
And you know
here?
what happened? Everything was true. I accomplished all that except for I had a huge Suburban instead because Hummers at the time they were shitty.
Early on in my time covering the NHL, the parking lot would have like 4 or 5 Hummers.
Yeah, they came and gone. They H1, H2, but it's funny. Like I sounded like such a jackass to Kate, but I was right on everything I told her.
Like what else did you tell her?
I'm going to make the NHL. I'm going to sign a contract. I'm going to buy my own house. I'm going to buy a house around here.
Did you start like dating her after this?
No, fuck no.
She was like, "Oh my god, what a meathead! This guy's crazy."
Yeah, yep, you're right.
Yeah,
because I was crazy. But you think they understood what an NHL draft was from Eureka, Missouri? They had fucking no clue, except for my tight friends, man. They knew. But I remember just being braggadocious and sound like such an asshole. But it all turned out true. So
and then all the girls left the house. They didn't hang out.
They stuck around. The cops came too.
They did?
Yep.
And did you tell the cops, like, hey, I just got drafted?
Yes, I did.
And what'd they say?
Go ahead, chill.
Oh, really?
Eureka cops, baby. What's up? Through and through, baby. Eureka. Little shot.
Through.
Although I moved out of there. But Eureka's awesome.
That was like gangster what you just said.
Eureka through and through, baby. I love it. I love that little town. Eureka, Missouri.
Yeah.
Little shout out.
Pavel Buchnevich got buckled behind the that should have been a $5,000 fine, I think.
Okay.
No?
What does that do though? Nothing.
It's a fine. It like shows that like what you did crossed the line and it's not acceptable.
I don't mind that.
Like the puck's not there.
Yeah, give him a fine.
Yeah, give him a fine.
Give him a fine.
Do you think sometimes they don't fine players who have been suspended recently?
Did Alexei get suspended?
No, but like Buchnevich has.
He has?
Oh, yeah, a couple times.
What do you do?
Like some hits up high. Remember he like cross-checked a guy in the face?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you lose your mind a little bit.
I love Bucci, but the good news is it doesn't appear to be overly serious. So he won't miss much more time.
The Blues are in a weird spot. And I know we talk about everything, but we're in St. Louis, and it's going to be a grind for this team. Like, it's not going to be easy to win games. Like, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be this. Like, Benner's going to have to stay. Jordan Binnington's going to have to stand on his head. They've tightened up a little bit, but boy, oh boy, it's going to be a long grind of a season, in my opinion. Could be okay.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough.
Why? Because they're having trouble scoring?
Well, the defense are still the same, and I know they have, more of a zone defense, which is like they're not skating around as much. They're not getting all over the place. They're kind of just tight knit, sit back and protect the house.
Are you breaking down the
zone, man-to-man? It's a big difference.
It's not man-to-man.
I know.
Yeah.
Zone compared to man-to-man. I know the difference.
Yeah, it's really...
break it down for me.
Well,
explain that.
They've divided basically the defensive zone into quadrants where everyone... It's a little more simplified.
Yeah,
everyone
you don't skate
knows
around as much.
Which area of the ice that they're responsible
you're
for.
In this little area, this is where you go.
And the idea is to really cut down on those slot shots they were giving up last year.
A lot of them.
And obviously the way they defend in front of the net, the forwards have to help out with some of that, which they have been much better at. I mean, they played 2 games and they've gotten points in both, and they played 2 teams that were in the playoffs last year. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to win the division because that wouldn't be smart to say. But I mean, based on what you've seen so far, I wouldn't be, just because they haven't blown anybody out or
Oh,
they played the Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken.
I know. I know those 2 teams.
Yeah. So and they got 3 points out of 4.
I know.
So
exactly, but I'm still letting you know.
Yeah.
This is going to be.
It wasn't the most beautiful. I would rather win like that, have 3 out of 4, than beating teams 7-5 and whatever, and you're just having to, It's like the Florida Panthers too, who are 0-2. They're having to play catch up the whole time. Yeah. Playing catch up in the NHL is difficult.
It's very difficult.
But everyone wants to get too crazy with teams like Buffalo and some of these teams. I said it right off the bat, man. And Buffalo, it's 2 games. They may roll off 8 games in a row where they win. Who knows? And they've got good players. But I never know how a goaltender is going to perform one year to the next. I have no idea. And, for Buffalo, man, I would never sit there and make any type of prediction about the Buffalo Sabres to assume that they are going to be this or that. You know what I mean? You just kind of I need to see them go out there and actually get it done, get in the playoffs. When you miss the playoffs 11 straight years, I'm not going to be like, oh, they are a playoff team.
They're due. It's like the Washington Generals.
I hope so, man. They missed the playoffs 11 years in a row. They've got about 1 million first overall picks on their roster. Yeah, make the playoffs. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I'm rooting for them, man. I like their team. I like that Owen Power. I like Tage Boyd Thompson. I like that.
Owen Power got picked too. Owen Power. See, listen, and he got signed.
Yeah,
obviously
big
a big
ticket.
sign. But one thing I will say about Buffalo that I like what they're doing though is that they know their guys
and they got them locked up.
Like they're like, we know what we have.
Yep.
And so this is what they feel like they're worth, But Owen Power, man, he got $3 million less than Dahlin. But Dahlin, he signed a little bit of a bridge, right? He was making $6 million a year. Listen, they've done it right, man. I've got no problem with it. The cap is going up, which is the bigger issue. And, he's coming off a Norris Trophy type season. He was a finalist, and he probably has some Norris trophies in his future, man. So
what about Ottawa?
I don't have a problem with it. I love Ottawa, dude. I told you. Now, Tarasenko. Oh, my God, the media going crazy on Tarasenko after one game. Did you see that?
Oh, no. Are they chirping him?
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Let me show you.
Why, is he mopey? Does he have bad body language and shit?
I guess, man. I guess he wasn't good in the first game. But then he had a couple of assists in the second game.
Yeah, and he scored
And then the third game, he scored a goal.
Okay.
So, listen, this is a exact tweet that went out. I'm not going to say the reporter's name, man, because I understand everybody's doing this shit.
It's all good. Just read it.
But, this was after one game. The smart move and what would have taken huge balls by Dorian is to move Tarasenko along before the rest of the league realizes where his game is at. Just say it hasn't fit for either party. Tough adjustment to city, system, weather, and metric.
Weather?
Yeah. Is it snowing there already?
This fucking
This
Russia.
motherfucker's from Siberia.
Siberia, in a factory town in the middle of Siberia.
Yeah,
you think he gives a shit
it's
about
like
weather?
Ottawa's like Florida to him.
No shit.
He ain't worried about the weather.
Still.
Well, weather, I don't care who it is. If it's Tarasenko or if it's a kid who's been in the minor leagues for the last 8 years playing one game in the NHL. Anytime you put that out after one game and just assume that, they should just, move him. Get rid of him after one game.
Get rid of him.
It's it's been one game.
I know. That's not fair.
You ain't that good, Ottawa.
That's not fair.
I mean, you got some good players, man. Hey, listen, Brady Tkachuk's got 4 goals already on the season. He's had back-to-back 30-goal seasons, right? 65 goals scored over the course of the last 2 years. This is the year he enters that next tier of offensive players, man.
I agree.
This guy's going to score 40-plus. He's going to have an unbelievable season. And now he's scoring in multiple different ways, right? It's not just, in and around the net. He can score off the rush.
Shoot the puck.
He can beat you one-on-one. He can drive to the net.
He can bully you.
Oh, my God. And, he's got great hand-eye in terms of deflections.
One
He
of my
gets rebounds, man. He can score off the cycle. He wins battles. He does. 24 years old. I hate to say it because everyone knows Brady Tkachuk's been a good player for the last couple of years, but this is truly going to be his coming out party, man. This guy is going to be up there in terms of Hart Trophy voting, all of that. I'm not going to say he's going to be top 3 or whatever, but it wouldn't be surprising if he was.
I am rooting for him like no other.
Yeah.
Sweetheart of a kid, tough, old school. They don't make him like him anymore. They don't. They really don't.
No.
He can do everything. We love his family, so we're rooting for Ottawa, man. I don't want them, and I'm rooting for Vladdy. Vladdy was good to us too, man. Vladdy Tarasenko was good to us.
And Vladdy, he's not going to be overly happy. Listen, he's on the third line on the second power play. That's new territory for him.
Though. I mean,
they are, and they've got good defensemen too. When you've got Sanderson, you've got Chikrin, you got Shabbat. I mean, you've got some
players.
You've got some players, man, and they don't even have Pinto signed. I think that's part of what the media is referring to. Is because, you got Tarasenko eating up some of that money. You want to get Pinto signed. They'll get him in there. Listen, whenever these standoffs happen, both sides understand what that end date is. And obviously there's a deadline anyway where they have to get him signed. Otherwise, he won't be able to play this season. But they'll get it done. He will get in there. I hate to see young players missing time, though, and just, not there.
No shit.
And this is where the salary cap kind of sucks. But, everybody's dealing with it. So you got to find a way to get your players signed. You know what I mean? Can I talk about TikTok real quick?
Man.
I was just showing you some TikToks, and all the girls are doing TikToks. If they're just standing there, Cam, they just start moving their arms around. I'm like, what is going on? It's not even a song happening.
Keep an eye on that boy.
And now they're my daughter. I shouldn't even say that. They're posting their own TikToks, and I follow her to make sure it's private, so y'all know out there. Just let you know, it's private.
I ain't following your
Saying
daughter.
it's private. But I'm following her, and they're doing all these dances and stuff. I don't know what the songs mean.
They mean the songs
no,
are...
I don't like... No.
No. They're listening to songs about guys smashing.
Oh my God!
Girls getting fucking.
You can't say that, dude. They're
getting rocked.
They're very young.
They're dancing to songs about women.
Well, that's what all the songs are.
I'm just letting you know. You're acting like I don't know what they're talking about. What do you mean? Listen to the fucking lyrics. They're dancing to.
Well, how do I handle this, dude?
Just keep an eye on it, man. You can't be overbearing, but I'd keep an eye.
They all do it.
If it's not private, I'm fucking telling you.
It is private.
All her little followers, you think they're just her friends?
The Swifties?
They're 45-year-old men.
Oh, God.
They're 45-year-old men. Like, good job there, and they're liking everything.
No.
They're 45-year-old men.
Come on, dude.
You better get control of this.
I got control.
No, I'm serious.
No, I do. I really do.
I have a TikTok account that's not even mine. Somebody has a Cam TikTok account, and everybody in here thought it was my account. It's not. He's doing a pretty damn good job.
Who's it?
Can you message this motherfucker? Message him and be like, hey, Cam wants to know.
Who is it? You and the dogs?
No, it's all about hockey.
Oh, okay.
It's actually
nothing bad.
Yeah, but you're acting like you're me, and people think you're me, and it's not me. I just want to get control of that, just like you need to get control of Chloe's stuff. And maybe Lori might be doing TikTok too.
No, she's not doing TikTok.
I'm just asking.
She's not doing TikTok.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
You know. But that's not my account on TikTok.
But apparently you're doing TikTok.
I'm not.
Well, there's somebody else posting that. I don't even know how I got on there.
I don't. Do you think I know how to
that's
clip off
Cam's
reels?
Cam's like, it wasn't me.
It's not me, Brody?
It was not me.
I don't even have an account.
Yeah.
Don't even have an account.
That's you posting. Cam's like standing there, like watching the game, doing like TikToks with the goal song.
I'm sleeping,
moving his arms around.
Yeah, I didn't get into TikTok bullshit.
First Farm.
Find our TikTok, and we got a TikTok.
Hey, I got to tell the people, by the way, our Sparks promo code Cam Strick is working in Canada. I got some questions about that from all my people out there in Canada and Saskatchewan. They're asking me questions. Yes, the answer is yes. Cam and Strick. So don't let Seth sharpen your skates and ruin your weekend. Get a Sparks.
Good God.
I saw him over the weekend. Sleeping behind the counter. Yeah, not even paying attention. Like there's 20 pair. Don't be saying that now.
You're the one that showed me.
Hey, 20 pairs of skates is sitting there on the counter.
Oh, he's just fucking around.
Yeah, like dude, are you gonna get to these?
He's thinking about the bones.
I don't even.
In his room.
Oh my God, I don't even want to know what he's thinking about.
So
use that promo code Cam and Strick. It'll save you more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I mean, that's how good.
Hey, how about this on Black Friday, all y'all out there? I don't want a discount on technology. I don't care about discounts with fucking kids' toys, and I know a lot of people do. I don't have kids. How about you give a discount on food? That's what I want on Black Friday.
Yeah.
For the people that are struggling. Like, have a discount on fucking food. Not that 85-inch TV. You know what I mean? Just like little stuff like that, man.
Like what would you discount? Like
just like
groceries?
Chicken. Yes. Like anything. Like that's what you want to have a deal
So like
on.
you'd like line up outside the grocery store.
Yeah, get stock up on food.
Fighting for like
I'd rather stop. Well, yeah, if you're going to fight
tomahawks.
You're going to no. Well, yeah, you freeze them.
I would.
Yeah, I know.
I've got some frozen steaks right now.
You don't freeze tomahawks usually. You don't want to do that like Andy did. And he got a $70 tomahawk and he froze it right away. And then he freezes it that night and then cooks it frozen the next day. How stupid!
It could not have tasted better.
Did you hear what I said? The dumbest thing ever.
Why?
He had this badass thick. I cooked a tomahawk this weekend, baby. It's so badass, $70, and he comes home and instead of just letting it season it, let it chill in the fridge, season, get all that fucking seasoning dug in there.
It's only good for 2 days.
Yeah, I know. You froze it for a day and then cooked it the next day.
No, I didn't.
Stupid. Waste of money. Waste of I heard you did that. Then he cooks it frozen on a Trager. On a Trager.
Dude.
That is ludicrous.
Look at YouTube.
Look at YouTube. You're looking up what can I do for a frozen steak? Can I cook a frozen steak?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can do anything you want, but it's stupid to do that.
Cam, one of us is a Traeger ambassador. And you're going to tell me.
They don't like you.
Well, apparently they do.
They don't like you.
I've got the apron. I've got stickers. I've got koozies. I got a lot of things.
It's such a waste.
They send me things.
Beautiful chunk of meat with great marbling, and you goddamn freeze it.
Well,
you froze it, and then you put it low and slow, like it's a brisket. God. And you want me to come over and eat? I'm going to chirp you the whole time, and I don't want to be like that.
Well.
And he's like, come over, we'll have food. I'm like, what? What are you going to cook?
I'm going
to drive all the way out there, and then you're going to get me veggies and then a frozen fucking steak.
I'm going to grill.
I don't know if I want to do it.
We're looking forward to it. We're going to have
I don't know if I want to do it.
What's up with Provorov and Tortorella?
Oh, they going at it again.
Well, he doesn't even play there anymore. I guess Provorov came out and basically said, hey, like, and again, I'm paraphrasing because I don't, like, have all this shit in front of me.
Yeah. But we're chilling, baby.
But basically saying, like, when he was playing in Philly, like, he got away from his game. And they were asking him to play a style that didn't suit his game, specifically with Torts.
Okay.
So, like, rimming pucks all the time. It's not just let him do his thing. Werenski's hurt in Columbus, though, man. That poor guy can't stay healthy.
He got hit weird.
I feel bad for him. He is a big part of, like, the up-and-coming USA hockey guys. The good news is it doesn't appear to be serious. Just like Taylor Hall and Buchnevich, all these guys are getting rocked early. And but the good news is it doesn't look like it's serious. But do this real quick, man, just to get it back to I got to give this guy a shout-out, no matter who he plays for.
We did.
This guy brings it every single night.
He came on our show, baby.
And the Blues the Panthers signed Nico Mikkola and let Gudas go.
Yeah, but Mikkola's making
2.5.
Is he?
Yeah, for 3 years.
Gudas is making 4.5.
Gudas is making whatever he got.
I think 4.5. Right?
Brody will check that out. I don't think he got that much. He's in the 3s.
4? Okay.
And did Mikkola get 3 years at 2.5?
I like Nico Mikkola. He's a good dude.
That's a big difference, by the way. In a salary cap world, everybody's up against it. $1.5 million is $1.5 million.
I know. I get you.
And I'm happy for Gudas, man. Take the money and run.
Damn right. Playing in Anaheim, shit. Yeah. You like their new unis?
They're okay. They have so many uniforms nowadays.
Everyone,
they all like get back to the originals or whatever. There's a million different uniforms.
How about
2.5? Yeah.
Fucking Oilers had a little wake up call first game. 8-0.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Hey,
at home.
Listen, Jay Woodcroft, man.
Whoa.
He's got to be feeling the heat right now, because you start the season on a bad foot. They paid that goaltender, who. He's another example of, like, you play in Toronto, you just automatically, there's just a level of overhype. Now, some guys are worth it, and I'd put, like, William Nylander in that category. I'd take that dude on my team right now.
Willie? Yeah.
Because he scores. Like, he's a legit player, But, Hyman, had his moments, obviously. He's a good player. Jack Campbell, though, man, I think a lot of people questioned it at the time. And that is a lot of money, and that's a big-time commitment, and it's not paying off.
Yeah.
You've got Draisaitl and McDavid. How long are you going to go through this where they don't put it together?
Time's a ticking, baby.
Again, man, it's 2 games.
Time's a ticking.
But they just seem to me like they would need one of those coaches who have been there and done that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you bring in the big-time accomplished general manager. You've got the best player of his generation on the team. You've got a top 3 player on your roster. You overpaid this defenseman, Darnell Nurse, but you've got other players. But it's a weakness on your roster. But you can't just continue just to, like, be just okay. This is the Edmonton Oilers with Connor McDavid. You've got to be an elite team. And when you get blown out 8-1 to the Vancouver Canucks, man. Right off the bat.
Smack.
First game of the season. That's how you come out. That leads to questioning all of this that we're talking about right now. I'm not trying to pick on anybody or, like, make any crazy hot takes.
They lost 8-1 the first
I'm like,
game.
dude, you lose 8-1 in the first game. You're the Edmonton Oilers. Every year it's the same story. Like,
that's part of the world.
Are they going to get to the next level and be truly considered a contender? We're talking Connor McDavid, man. He deserves the best of everything.
He does.
And if he doesn't have the best coach, you got to go out and find who that is.
Mike Babcock.
I heard he was at the Blues game the other night.
Was he?
Yeah, I think.
Son?
I think he was there. Yeah.
Mike Babcock.
Yeah. Mike Babcock.
They should get Mike Babcock.
So hire Babcock, and Kenny Holland and Babcock can get back together.
Great. I love that Kenny Holland, though, man.
But I mean, they had it, I guess, a year or two ago with Hitch. He came back and coached that team, although they probably weren't where they are now. even then. I don't think anyone looked at them as a true contender, but that's why I don't look at any of those teams as true contenders. Listen, there's just a lot of hype. This isn't basketball where you can just put LeBron James on the floor and automatically you just win, man.
Waste 40 minutes.
Either get the hell out of Edmonton, Connor, or force them to get you some damn players around you.
Enough's enough.
It's time to put your foot down.
I agree. But again, you're making what, 12, 14? What's he making? Is he making 13? 13.5?
12 and a half.
12 and a half, okay. Like, where are you going?
He's underpaid.
Where are you going, though?
What do you mean, where's he going to go? The cap's going to go up. He can go anywhere he wants.
Okay.
Teams would, give up the whole, roster to get him. Okay. Now, I understand money-wise and everything, but listen, if Edmonton made a phone call today to all teams, Connor McDavid's available, dude, there'd be plenty of teams that would find a way to get that done.
That'd be interesting, though. What drama that'd be.
I mean, Edmonton's still losing $12.5 million, so they can get 5 players for that much money.
I know.
From the team they're trading with.
I know. It's just you're going to have to trade a lot of. I don't know.
And you get.
I don't know if one player. I don't know.
They're we give you first-round picks for the next 10 years in a row.
It's like an Eric Lindros thing.
But I love the traditional and the tradition that comes out of Edmonton, the greatness that have come out of Edmonton. But this is not the 1980s, man. It is hard to build a winner.
It is hard. You're right.
In Edmonton, Alberta. And I just cannot continue to watch Connor McDavid play there year after year after year. I mean, the NHL is investing in Connor Bedard. They're like, okay, we're going to get him in Chicago. We're going to have him in a big market. We're putting him on national TV, back-to-back games in Hockey Night in Canada. Do not waste Connor McDavid.
Well, they wasted some
sitting
draft
in
picks,
Alberta.
Man. They've had so many.
And I love all y'all in Alberta, man. I don't want to take that away from you.
They had so many draft picks, and they done fucked up a lot of them.
Oh.
I mean, historically, fucked up.
But don't think by losing McDavid that you're going to become worse. You may get a ton of players, man.
Yeah, like Gretter.
And become more of a balanced, well-rounded team that has a chance to win. Maybe you don't have the guy that's putting up 150 points, but you would get some quality players in return that may make you a better team. Especially if you still have Draisaitl.
Do we have an example in the last 30 years, let's say, where a superstar like Connor McDavid, somebody like that was traded to a team with all that money in his prime and turned out to be successful?
Patrick Waugh.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But there's other
Eric Lindros got traded, obviously, and they got a shit ton of return, and it helped them build into a Stanley Cup champion in Colorado.
Yeah, that was the opposite way it happened.
Yeah.
The opposite. I'm talking about a big dog getting traded, and all of a sudden, wow, has there even been that
Matthew Tkachuk?
That wasn't a trade.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. Never mind. That was a trade. Yeah, Matty? I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
Ray Bork?
Very end of his career, 2000.
Listen, there's got to be Keith Tkachuk. Although they didn't win a Stanley Cup when he came here.
I'm just asking.
What are you asking?
I'm just saying, is there been anybody at that caliber that left their team in the mid-20s and said, I can't deal with this anymore, and went somewhere else and was really successful?
Yeah, well, Chris Pronger, Al McInnes. Pronger went to Edmonton and literally carried that team to the Stanley Cup final. Then he goes to Anaheim and they win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Scotty Niedermayer went to Anaheim and
Scotty, okay,
did his thing. Listen,
that was a big contract dispute. We talked with Scotty and Lou about that.
Yeah, yes, we did.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Yeah. That's why I'm.
Remember when Lou got mad at you?
Man,
I felt bad for you at the time because
you set me up.
You
like
didn't
an
even. No,
asshole,
I didn't.
No, you did. Right off the bat, you're like, you said something to him like, I'm like, oh no, don't do this, Andy. You're like, well, does Cam done anything for you?
No,
oh, God.
No, Cam's like, oh, Lou, what kind of player were you?
Oh, no, that was so stupid.
Were you like an offensive goal scorer? Like, what kind of player were you? And he goes, Cam, I'm very disappointed that you asked that question. Oh my God. It was like the most surprising answer in the history of the podcast.
Oh, so stupid on my part. I'm so dumb. Like, he doesn't like talking about himself. He doesn't like talking about his play.
Yeah.
And I asked him about how he was in Providence.
Hey.
He's like, I don't talk about that. And you should know that, Cam. I'm like,
oh.
I'm like, oh, God.
It hurt Cam to the core. Did you have to have a meeting? Did you have a phone conference call?
No, this was after I went on Chicklets the first time. And I told the story about my phone getting mixed up with his number, and then I called him, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So that night, after I did my first Chicklets, Lou calls me the next day, and we had to have a talk, and it was fucking hardcore. My mom and dad were like, what the fuck did you do to piss him off? After you retire, what'd you do? And I'm like, I told a story. You know not the story I'm talking about? And the story is true, but I used bad language when I was like...
Oh, yeah, when you were saying what he said, he was like, I would never have said that.
He's like, I'd never cuss at you like that. And I'm like...
Why would you defame him like that?
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, that was like not right.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we were able to correct that. And you were able to explain to him what you were doing.
And then he came on the podcast.
And he's listening to your interview on Spit and Chicklets.
He listens to all this.
Yeah.
Hey, and Chris do. It's all good.
Every episode?
I'm his biggest supporter ever. Like, my mom and dad love that man.
Yeah.
Like, love him.
A lot of former players do.
I do, man. I'll do anything for him. And Chris, his son was fucking awesome to me, dude.
You do anything?
Yeah. If he's like, Cam, I need you for this, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'll fly out.
You'd hop on the plane right away.
I would. And I don't even like flying.
I know.
But if Lou wanted me to do something, I would do it.
Okay. We may have to see if we can plan that. Like, I want to see Lou ask you to do something last minute and forces you to have to, and you would do it. I know you would.
If I called Lou right now and I said, I need a job, I think he would hire me for something.
What would you want to do?
Clean toilets or something?
Run the power play?
No.
You could.
No, he couldn't. Let's be realistic, Andy.
You really could not.
You're not going to run the power.
You don't think you could run the power play?
Fuck no. I'm going to be the motivator. I'm going to be the young kid. Go and hang out with the young kids. Tell them what to do this. Get everybody motivated. Be a happy
At the
guy.
rink, you're talking about.
Yeah, at the rink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to them. What's up with you? What's wrong? Let me sit down, man. You good?
Yeah.
I can see it, man. What I see your body language. Like, what's going on? You good? Oh, and I can sit and I can talk and I can talk and I can talk.
I think that
kind of like when you call me and you let it out and I sit and I talk to you for an hour about all your problems.
You're very good at that.
Really good at it.
Yeah.
I'm really good.
Yeah.
I listen.
And vice versa.
Excuse me?
And vice versa.
About what?
Like if you let it out and you need someone to talk to, I'm good for that for you. I am, dude. I have been several times. When
I call Andy, just so all y'all know, and I'm looking in the camera right now, and I have a problem, I'll talk to Andy. He'll be like, oh, just, and then I'll go off. I'm like, God, you know what? Little boo-boo's probably about to die. I got this going on. You know, my mom, blah, blah, blah. And then Andy doesn't say a word for like a minute, and I can hear him go, tick, 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 tick. He's just texting when I'm talking to him. He's fucking texting when I'm talking to him.
Not
and if you don't think that I
Why
noticed
would you do that, Cam? When you had
you
had a major
Brody,
you had a major issue when you were still playing that I like.
You stuck up me. Okay, you stuck up me for me.
Yeah, and I helped you behind the scenes.
Because no one else did it. Everybody's like, whoa, I got to get away from this guy. I'm like, oh, no, that was hardcore. And Andy was by my side.
Yeah.
But you knew me.
I've done some other stuff for you. I've done some other stuff for you recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Try to help you get some work and stuff like that.
With what?
I've like endorsed.
Help me get work. With what?
I've endorsed you.
With what?
To a few people.
About what?
Like who might hire you.
For what?
Like to be like a color commentator.
Get the fuck out of here.
What do you mean?
Color commentator. Jamie, I'm taking your job, baby.
No, I'm not.
Color commentary
I'm not
for who?
talking about that.
Lindenwood University.
Yeah, for like
Get out of here.
For like a club hockey.
What is there? I know shit. Like, you want to work for AAA hockey or something? Fuck.
Just trust me.
Okay.
Don't spread lies.
He's helping me. You guys heard that first here. If I get a job somewhere, good God, that's cute, man.
Oh my
gosh,
good.
It's all good.
The Arizona Coyotes.
What?
They're good.
Yeah.
Like they are. I think I said that prior to the season too.
I think you did.
I was like, I was like, they're not like
I remember that.
They got like good players. They signed a bunch of guys on 1-year deals, so who knows what the plan is? You know, maybe trade some of these guys. But like Dumba looks like a decent signing right now.
I like him.
Yeah.
He hits, dude. He's not even making that much money.
They got the cool dog.
Logie.
Love Logie.
Yeah, he's cool as shit too.
Behind the back passes, just making plays. 19 years old. I really like Logan Cooley. Schmaltz, Keller, all these dudes,
Our boy
man.
Clayton.
So their coach, man, he's good with the young guys. He's very fair, from what I understand. Like he holds guys accountable, but he's also cool at the same time. But like he doesn't mess around. If he needs to kick you in the ass, he does it. You know, he's not afraid to do it. So he had a great reputation in junior tourney, and now he's getting it done in the NHL. So I like what Billy Armstrong is doing. If they can get into a big boy arena, that's the biggest challenge, where the players come to the rink and they feel like they're in the NHL.
I should have countered Hordy. We got Darcy Hordichuk on this episode, by the way. And Hordy, and I love him.
Great
he's
guy,
a fucking
dude.
Go-getter, dude. Love him. And he's so confident. He's just a good dude. Smart guy. But he did say, I think the guys really like playing in that college atmosphere. I should have stopped him and said, no, they don't. No, they don't. They like playing in the college atmosphere when they're in fucking college. When you're in the NHL, you want to be different. You want to get away from that. Not to mention what are we doing? Are you trying to block my face? What is going on here?
I put these up earlier. This is all the first
form,
stuff.
baby.
And Cam was saying I was blocking his face.
He tells me what to do. He tells me what to do, and now he's trying to put want me to put a mask on?
Why do you keep going back to the mask? Is that a thing? Is that happening?
You want me to hide my face, so I just put a Pennywise the Clown and mask on.
Pennywise the Clown. Ooh.
It's so funny too. Like,
don't scare me.
I think if we could pimp this place out, I think Andy, what he would do is he'd have one big chair right here where he sits and the camera's on him, and then I'd be like over there in the corner with no camera on me. He'd be like, "This is what I like," just like Pat McAfee.
I was telling
and fucking Dan Patrick.
I'm
Cam, like, where am I gonna sit?
I was telling Cam like my vision, to have it be like a talk show where no,
I sit in the corner with the band.
Where I'm like Jimmy Fallon and you're the guy on the couch.
Yeah, I'm the guy on the couch
next to me.
No, like 3 down because there's guests there.
We're gonna do that.
Andy tries to hide me.
It's not true.
Not the camera series. Like, I don't know. If
Darcy Hordichuk, though, dude. I'm glad we got him on.
He's awesome.
I remember telling the story when we were in Nashville at that event. That's where I met him. You had known him before that, I guess. Had you met him before that? No, I mean outside of playing against him. Yeah. So, and we were on a bus and we hit the biggest speed bump in speed bump history, dude. And my coffee filled to the top, hot as hell. All of a sudden, we hit this bump. My head hits the ceiling of the bus. It was like a very dangerous situation for a number of people. And the coffee just goes flying all over Hordy.
We had a bunch of swinging dicks
in his bus. Probably $2,500 Italian leather jacket.
Hordy doesn't dress that nice.
You say that, Cam,
he's blue collar, dude.
Blue collar.
He's just he does. I could just tell.
The dude just sold a $4 million house. What are you talking about?
I know, but the way
he's blue collar. He lives in the $4 million part of the blue collar part of the neighborhood.
He doesn't dress like fancy. He just doesn't. I could just tell.
He's blue collar. He just sold his house for $4.2 million. Jackie, that's what I'm dealing with right here.
Oh, he grew up in a small town.
He's a blue collar, and somebody sent me a message too, saying stop saying that because nobody uses that term anymore.
Tell them to go fuck themselves. Good God, I don't know who you hang out with. That's what they worry about.
They said
blue fuck
they
you.
said that term is not used
I'm looking
anymore.
At the camera too, saying that. I know you listen. Tell Cam he's gonna stop saying blue collar.
Now they're watching. Now they're watching.
Fuck out of here.
Oh, that's amazing.
Fucking blue collar, baby. Always will be.
But Darcy Hordichuk, he fought everybody. Great teammate.
Shit.
Teammates loved him. But he's one of those guys, I don't know, there's not too many of them, who's such a mover and shaker.
He is.
That while he's playing, he's generating these relationships with owners and people that are going to help him after his career. And he's made more money, man, in his post-career than he made during his playing days.
About 10 times more.
Yeah, 10 times more.
Literally 10 times more.
But Cam thinks he's blue collar.
No, he's got a blue collar attitude to him.
Yeah, he's cool. He's Saskatchewan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's your argument?
Well, I mean, he's still
But what?
A lot of those guys they're not blue collar. I don't know what you mean by that. They're just, Cam acts like he was wearing
No, I just
like $20 shoes.
You just know who tries and who doesn't. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he just didn't. I could just tell he just doesn't care. I don't know. I could just tell.
I'm wearing my shit kicking boots today because.
Oh, look at the concrete boots. Show the camera. Oh, that's what fuck. Look at the concrete. This is how Andy was sitting the other day too. Look at them concrete boots.
It's Fallout.
Those are concrete.
I wore them on a private plane one time and put a picture up.
Oh my
Cam,
God! You
went crazy about it.
No, I
go on a private plane with him and he shows up in sweatpants. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Blue collar, baby.
Well, that's blue collar.
Blue collar.
But not living in a $4 million house, driving Escalades and I
think he's more frugal than you think. when it comes.
No,
to stuff.
he's not, dude.
Oh yeah, you know.
Or whatever. I
like him a lot, man.
Driving
cool
Bentleys.
I don't think he's driving a Bentley.
Bet you he is.
I bet he's not.
You should have
Why
asked
would you
him.
even drive a Bentley anyway? You've had good money.
I was behind a player the other day coming out of the garage. He was driving a Bentley. You wouldn't get a Bentley?
If I was a superstar, it's just not my jam. A Bentley's not my jam.
No, but a Corvette is. Cam drove a Corvette, which
it was a toy.
Yeah, well,
it's a toy. That's not my everyday car.
A Bentley's probably a toy too.
Corvettes are $60,000. Fucking Bentley's $300,000. Get out of here.
All right, but
a Corvette's Chevrolet. It's a Chevy. It's like the next. It's like the hillbilly, fast cars are Mustangs and Mustangs and Camaros and Firebirds. Yeah. And Corvettes are kind of like the top notch of that caliber until you get the Porsche and Lamborghini and all that. But Corvettes are pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's American through and through. And I had one for about 5 years.
I think they're more than $60,000 now. Mm-hmm. Like they're probably like closer to 100, if not north of 100.
Brand new, yeah.
Like they're actually very cool now.
Yeah, they look like
they
Ferraris.
look really, really nice.
I just drove fast cars for a bit and I got sick of it. I like fast boats. Fast cars, I got pulled over all the time, dude. Yeah. And God, you're getting pulled because when you're loud like that and you're doing things all the time, man, like you just stick out like a sore thumb.
I go to Bellman anyway when I get my cars. I go look for Buick GMC. Cam's looking at that Buick Enclave, frosted white, tan leather, captain seats. Nothing wrong with that.
No, those are actually really nice cars.
They're actually beautiful cars. Tiger Woods actually made it kind of cool. Did you see the other day Tiger Woods playing golf in Pebble Beach, shows up by himself, pays his whatever $600 for the round, whatever it costs to play there, and just gets paired with 4 dudes.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
He was wearing like a
I wouldn't even do
like
that.
a Call of Duty hoodie.
You could wear a hoodie there?
I think you can. He can.
Yeah, no one's gonna say anything.
He can.
No one's gonna say anything.
You know what I mean? Like he can.
I just think that like some of these golf courses, man, they have the strict rules, and if you give it to one person, you're not allowed to.
Dude,
we talked about this before.
We're supposed to be golfing. This guy pays money for a charity to golf with Cam and I can't get Cam to schedule the damn golf outing.
So he does like a charity event without me knowing. And one of the things is
without you knowing,
you could. Hey, I got something for you. Cam is on a golf course way out yonder. Maybe we could have a foursome, and now we'll put that in there. Yeah, go ahead. Then he tells me later. I'm like, okay, like tell the guy whenever. So
Cam,
now it's cold.
You agreed to it beforehand.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
But I would have. I would have anyway. But you did kind of go out on your.
Oh my God, you're lying about it.
Am I?
Yeah, you knew about it 100% before.
Okay, then I knew about it.
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't do that to you.
You should have said, hey, we'll have a trip to the Creve Coeur Racket Club instead with me. They'd be like, no, we're good on that.
Play a little pickleball.
We're good on that.
How much money would that go for?
Nothing.
Oh, but Bellman, located where?
Troy, Missouri.
At Bellman, they have
no swinging dicks. None.
None
Your
of
wife
those.
can go there.
Yes, she can.
Ain't got fucking swinging dick.
Yeah.
I hung out, came back and died, kicked his fucking ass. No, you didn't.
I wrestled him. I beat him in wrestling.
I used to pick on him all the time, motherfucker.
Hey, so
no, you didn't.
On the other side, you got Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. They've got something for everybody. So check it out. Bellman.com, located in Troy. And they'll even give you sushi and flavored water.
It's a stupid thing to say. It's a stupid thing
But it's true, dude. That's how they treat you when you come in there, dude. They treat you like family.
No one wants sushi at a car fucking
Everybody
dealership.
Gets qualified.
No one wants sushi at the gas station.
Everybody gets qualified.
That's a different story.
Everyone.
That's what you need to say.
Yeah.
Stop saying the other thing.
I'm saying everything, but everybody gets qualified too, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you get bad credit, man. Your credit could get fucked, dude. You could have money in the bank and just forget a couple things, and your credit score gets rocked, dude. It happens to the best of us, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
No one's judging. We're all eating a shit sandwich in our own way, man. We get it, dude. We get it. People are struggling, dude.
Yeah, they are.
There's people that aren't struggling. There's people that are struggling.
Some people are.
The people that aren't struggling don't think other people are struggling.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Barry Melrose, man.
Yeah, me too. Like him a lot.
Barry is iconic. We all grew up with Barry. Every time I've asked Barry to do anything, and all I've really ever asked him for are like interviews, for example, he's never said no.
He's always there.
He always gets back right away. And, you know, I always felt like this connection with him, Cam, and you probably do too, because of like he's tight with so many people we know, being from Saskatchewan. And so he's just a good old boy Saskatchewan guy, who loved the game and was the only face really for a long, long time on ESPN.
He was.
And the only person that anybody would associate with hockey in this country. A lot of people who weren't fans of hockey, but they probably knew who Barry Melrose was because of his presence on ESPN.
Yep.
And he was tough back in the day.
He was tough, and of course he coached early 90s Kings.
Gretzky, man.
All that drama shit, and his face was everywhere, and then he gets right into broadcast and kicked ass, pumped my tires up all the time.
Did he?
That's when ESPN in 2005, when I started playing, I'd go in the locker room, in the Devils locker room at South Mountain Arena. I'd get there before all the guys, and I'd sit and watch ESPN because they'd always replay my fights and my hits. Every highlight every morning on ESPN. Now they don't show any of that shit. And so I'd get there and the boys be like, "Oh, what are you doing, Cam?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to fucking see myself on TV." And all the coaches back home, football coaches from high school, be like, "God, I'm watching you right now on ESPN, all their highlights."
They're like, "Why didn't you hit like that when you played football?"
I did. I just wasn't into it. Football is not as fun as hockey. I'm sorry. I love all y'all out there. I love watching football. But playing football, Cam, go that way. And then it's over. And then now you're out. And then go back in there and go this way and hit that 300-pounder. In hockey, I could be like, fuck, let me fucking do my shit. Want to fight? Oh, I'm going to get the puck? I'm in control. Football, you're like, you do that. You do that.
Listen,
it's not as fun, in my opinion. Good, baby.
I loved hockey more. Nothing compares. But, football, man, I felt a lot of freedom on the field. It wanted you, didn't it? I felt like, playing safety, Cam, or playing cornerback. And I would play a little wingback too, where I scored a 2-point conversion one time. Monster back, baby.
Yeah, you just you're free roam.
Free roam. You do whatever you want, man.
If you tried
usually that's a middle linebacker.
If you tried to hit me, I would put my shoulder into you, I would crack your fucking sternum.
You'd go down because I know how to take out your legs. I wouldn't meet you head on because that wouldn't be very smart.
What are you gonna do?
To go show, I would take out the legs. I would take out the legs.
God, I'd be like, come on. I'd invite
Isn't that amazing how many of these football defensive backs can just meet
the best athletes
a running back head to head and bring them down to the ground?
Not all the time.
No, but some of them
don't get trucked, don't get stiff.
Do you know how hard
Derrick Henry? You gonna try to hit Derrick Henry?
Do you know how hard every hit is in the NFL?
Yeah,
every play.
Actually, it's rated that hockey hits are more powerful because of how fast you're going, and you have a board that
really
doesn't break.
Yeah, no, I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Okay. But, so in football, I used to call the plays.
I bet. They had you do everything.
I used to call the plays on defense. I had a wristband, Cam, that had all the plays on it.
God, your shoulder pads were 10 feet over your head. You couldn't even see your head. There's no way you could even, put your arms up.
Man, and I used to love being able to, they would say, they put a number up, 1 through,
Talking to Mike.
They put, a number up, 1 through 15 or whatever. So, the defensive coach, what? And then so I would look at my card. Huddle up.
Andy, what do we do?
Andy,
what do we do?
And I would just say the play. Yeah. And then, everyone has their job. Do your job, Do your job. Kind of the slogan we would use.
But we want Andy to do everybody's job. He's that skill.
So I play safety or cornerback. Yeah, and a little wide receivers too.
And quarterback a little bit.
Yeah. What were you playing, linebacker?
I was inside linebacker, and I was fullback, and I was safety because I was fast.
Did you ever have any carries?
Yeah.
In a game?
Yeah.
Can I see some stats? Do you have any video of this? Because I showed you my stats, 3 interceptions.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You never showed me that one time.
Oh, 3 interceptions. I was 3rd on the team in tackles, too.
I bet. Andy.
I think I had
I can't see you.
Okay, well, I will pull that up for you. In
120?
9th grade, 105.
Oh, you're killing guys. 105.
Probably 115, 105 to 115.
You're a killer.
Yeah.
That must have been scary, man. You would have hit me like that.
I mean, I'm talking freshman year,
That's my wife's
I probably got up. I probably got up to 135.
It's like Kate coming and trying
140
to tackle me.
By senior year.
I'm like, come here, girl. What's up? What do we do? 105
Don't do that when I come to tackle.
I'm like, God, what's up, girl? You trying to hit me?
But I would put you on the ground. I'd just be able to that's all you got to do is get you down to the ground.
Smashing guys, man.
Jeez,
I'm a hitter, dude.
All right, let's get to Darcy Hordichuk, eh? Anything else you want to talk about? Hey, I want to hear from all our viewers though, if they like the video. You know, we've always gotten comments, people saying like, you guys need to start doing video. Well, now we're doing video. We did a pilot last week. We didn't put it up because of the ball shot. Oh, God, you heard round the world. The ball shot. I mean,
and he just wait.
And Cam's like, well, I look great. I look great. I mean, put it up. I look great. I'm like, dude, you can't put that up. I could not let that happen.
We still have unlimited. Well, we got clips that are timeless. I can't believe you do that though. Andy, we're talking on the phone. He goes, hey. He goes, man, I've been working down at the rink for 25 years. He goes, I've been with Bowies for 10, 15 years.
I didn't say that.
No. I'm not chirping. Just calm down. And he goes, hey, can I post an Instagram pic? Oh. I go, God damn right, Andy. Yes. You've been grinding it down there for 25 fucking years. You worked your ass off. You're a blogger. Came from nothing. And now look where you're at. You're on TV every fucking night. Absolutely post that. And I'm going to give you an American flag. So I'm like, you're just thinking about Andy and how long he's been in the game. And then we come here, and he looks like a goddamn jackass. And he's sticking his wiener up like this. He's like this, talking about like, I'm like, what are we doing? And then we can't post anything because you look like an idiot. I got 25 years you've been in the game.
I got Brody and Jackie Boy.
25 years.
No, everybody's like, oh.
How'd you not think?
Everybody's, it looks great.
No. How'd you not think that you look stupid?
I'm asking during the recording.
Shit.
I'm like, guys, how's it looking? They're like, huh? Yeah.
Look at your posture. How'd you not think?
Looks good. Everything looks great. Hey, it looks good. Wow. And then we send the video, and it's like all I see is my crotch, like in the picture.
His belly and his crotch.
I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, he's got to change his you got to change your posture eventually.
Hey.
An hour and a half into it.
Can I just explain?
The very end, you did.
I haven't explained to people though. The
chair. We're still posting.
The chair that I had was broken.
No, dude.
And it's the chair that I always sit in.
You wanted to be cool. You wouldn't want me to look at the camera. You want to ignore the camera. The cameras are here. We're not ignoring them. And they're like, I'm just gonna play it cool. And it backfired on you.
Fine.
Just admit you're wrong.
It backfired, but
you got to admit sometimes. I always
admit
when I'm wrong.
Being like relaxed, like chill.
Relaxed. You were sleeping.
I mean, and
holy shit.
Yeah, I just wasn't.
It looked so fucking dumb.
Hey, Brody, Jack, how's it looking? It looks great.
Yeah, we're not blaming that.
It looks amazing.
25 years.
Everything looks great, guys.
You saw the post on Instagram. 25 years. He's been in the game.
Everything looks wonderful.
Like the camera's looking at your side of your face.
Hey, can I see some video? Yeah, dude, it came out great. Oh, my God. When I first saw
I
showed my wife. She's like, you cannot put that
I know.
up.
Kate said the same thing. When I first saw it, I go, oh, shit. I go, why is Andy, why is he sitting like that? Oh, he must change it. No, you didn't change.
Hey.
He finally put his glasses on at the end, staring at the camera when you were doing Bellman at the outro.
I treat Bellman right.
3 hours in, you finally looked at the camera.
Well, jeez-o.
God damn.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get to the interview. First Farm. What do you have over there, Cam?
I got First Farm right here.
No. Oh, yeah,
that's
that is
my
First
favorite.
Farm.
My favorite cup ever, by the way. Stays
cold. Do you know that I left that
day.
at my friend's house?
Good for you. Stays cold all gosh dang day. Right here. First Farm.
Ignition. You got the ignition over there.
Good stuff.
I've got the Megawatt, which is phenomenal.
Good stuff.
Look at these water bottles. Yeah. First Farm.
Crush all that.
I like the outdoors collection.
Cool.
Have you ever seen the outdoor collection?
Yep.
You would not fit in with that category because you're not very outdoorsy at all. Can I have that one?
Yeah.
Would you want to go camping? Maybe one of these.
I would go camping, but not with your whole family.
Why not?
And he always wants to hang out. And he's got 3 fucking kids. Like, I don't do that.
Why are you so anti-kids? I had to tell my kids that you actually like them
because I do. I love your kids. Listen. Anything happens to your kids, like I'm gonna help you no matter what.
Like Lou would do.
No, like if something ever happened, like if you needed my help, like anything, like I'd fucking die for them.
Would you make a phone call?
Like if weird shit was going down, which, like I don't trust you to fucking take care of business, so I'm gonna have to with this TikTok shit and all that.
God,
you don't even think it's all her friends looking 65-year-old men.
I hope not.
I hope you understand that,
dude.
I hope you
understand. It's like a serious issue.
God damn.
I do not approve of all of this that's going on.
Keep an eye on it. Don't be aloof.
I hate
what
cell
do I care?
phones.
No, Don't be.
I hate cell phones.
Damn.
With kids.
Well, they need it to be able to reach
for safety.
But just watch the comments on the TikTok, Andy. I'm not fucking around on that.
Okay, I got you.
Weirdos.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Can you tell the people you have to use our link?
You gotta use our link, guys.
No, explain in the camera, dude.
I'm looking at it.
Okay, tell them that.
/Cam and Strick. Just go to
firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
/Cam and Strick. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. They got it all. They got awesome ass gear too. Like I wear all their shit all the time. Their protein's fantastic. Their beef sticks. I would have brought one in, but I ate them all. I eat those 20 grams of protein. Makes you horny. It makes you horny.
Somebody didn't like that you said that either. I got a text. I got a message in my inbox
from your buddy.
Someone from the Creefcore Racket Club had said something.
Oh, he's really horny. Listen, if you are healthy and you drink protein, you will be horny, and that's good. When you're horny, you feel healthy. Like you feel like, God, let's go. What's up? When you're not horny, you're like, yeah, what do I do? No, you're a man. When you feel that, like
that's the message that you're saying.
Well, it just makes you feel good.
Like
and
for
everything, wait. And everything about feeling good. You just want to feel good. God, I get up in the morning. I'll have my protein. I'll have my beef stick. It coats my stomach. Like God, dang. I'll drink one of these bad boys. I have no heartburn. You get rocking and rolling. These things will last a long time.
Yes, they will.
Big time, dude. Yeah. They're energy drinks here.
I crush one every day.
They're damn good. Have you eaten today?
Not yet, because it's not. I eat after 12 noon today.
It's 12:19.
But I'll eat in a little bit. I don't have any protein bars with me. You have any of those today?
Yeah, I got.
All right, good. Things. Yeah, well, bring them out, Cam. We got cameras. And Cam's like, I brought it, but I have it off camera.
No, I ate all of them. I told you. So.
All right, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. If you ever question, like, okay, I'm going to order something, but I forgot the link, just message us, man. We'll get back to you.
We'll hook you up.
1929, want to give our boy a shout-out also.
Christmas, what's up,
What's up, Brett Christmas? He's posting shit left and right. We appreciate that. Love that relationship, that partnership we created with 1929.
They got a good thing going.
So follow him if you haven't already. Chances are you probably have. But at 1929 Hockey, right? Is that what it is?
You dang right it is. 19 and 29 are his
Those were his hockey numbers. Yeah. Mine was... Number 9 was my hockey number.
We all know. It's in the rafters.
So, oh, man.
I was thinking 1929. Like,
yeah, I know.
That was like, when everything was rocking and rolling. Everybody's like, the roaring 20s. The roaring 20s. Like, hell yeah. And then all of a sudden, the Dust Bowl hits and all the crops in the Midwest. All those crops that they dug up, all that wind, took all that dirt and fucking built it up like a huge storm and ruined crops throughout the Midwest. Wow. And what else happened that year?
I don't remember.
What do you think?
In 1929, World War.
No.
The Holocaust or something.
Yes, it started 1939 when you know who started fucking bringing everything together, dude. Then they fucking went over and took over Poland. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So you went from the roaring 20s to the the stock market crash. Crashed everything. Then you got the Dust Bowl. And then Hitler comes and starts doing his thing. And then you got the 40s. Then we had to save the day. A lot of crazy shit.
Yeah.
First Form. A lot of crazy shit.
First Form Nick. Say what up to Nick.
What up, Nicky boy? What's up, baby? He's been doing a lot of things.
And Wriggles.
Wriggles.
Say what's up to Wriggles.
Wriggles, what's up, baby?
What's up, Wriggles?
Chilling.
And Andy and Sal and everybody else.
Andy, Sal, everybody at First Form. We love you guys. Yeah.
I'll be in the gym soon, guys. I'll be back.
They don't want you there.
I'll be back in the gym
Andy's embarrassing
soon.
When we go.
That is not true. I can't believe you say that.
I'm just saying, like, you go to the gym. I want to fucking get my groove on. Let me get. Andy's just a goddamn talker. He just talks to everybody.
Not a big deal.
Like me and Nick are like blah 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 blah, and he's like, "Let me tell you about 2004 draft." Okay, like no, Andy, no, you're up next. You're slowing everything down. Okay. Let me tell you about hockey. No, work out.
Yeah, I do.
God,
I did that mountain climber.
You just talk the whole time.
Did that mountain climber?
It's not a mountain climber. It's
a stair stepper. Yeah, but it was like
you did it for 3 minutes. Different, you were laying on the goddamn thing. It's like you were laying down the other day.
Yeah. Hey, the Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Yeah, man, ain't no joke. No, ain't no joke. It ain't no joke.
Chrissy, by the way, was at the home opener.
I know.
And it's hard for me to get all the way up there and get to where I needed to go, man. So I wanted to go by and say hello.
It's all good. Just say
I didn't blow him off, dude.
I blew him off too. I didn't go downtown.
Well, I didn't blow him off. I'm like stuck downstairs.
I know you are.
Doing my thing.
It's all good.
888-743-0971. 888-743-0971. Illinois Recovery Center. If you or someone you know wants to learn about the Illinois Recovery Center, call that number. Do it today. You can email them info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com. Again, 888-743-0971. They're helping a lot of people.
Listen,
right
man.
now.
Listen, just you got to talk to these guys. Eric Conley, Chrissy Pondoff, they've been through hell and back. The worst thing when you're an addict like myself is when you talk to people and they have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. If I say, hey, Andy, I'm struggling with these painkillers. You're okay. Just suck it up. Nothing wrong with that because
he never said
it's
that
all good. But I'm just saying, guys that's never been through it, it's hard to talk to somebody, even doctors, just so all y'all know, even doctors who've never been through it. They've never been there. Those guys have. They know exactly what you're going through. They know exactly how to help you out. They got a great system at Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea, Illinois. It's right across the river in St. Louis. They'll take people in from anywhere. Yeah. And they will take care of you. They understand the struggle. I'm telling you guys right now, they're the real deal. He's a good goddamn friend of mine, and he wants he wants to help people, and he knows how to do it.
Yeah.
I went there the other day.
He is helping people.
He's helping so many people. He's got a gym. It's perfect there for you. It's never easy. It's not like I'm going to go there and we're going to have no. You're going to be disciplined, and you're going to have to go through hell. But once you get out of that hell, you are going to be so free. And I'm telling you, your mind and your body will be free. Mm-hmm. Check it out, Illinois Recovery Center.
Yeah, no,
I'm not messing around.
No, it's the new premier.
Not messing around.
Inpatient substance abuse facility just outside of St. Louis, and
it's right across.
And getting help should not be difficult, and they make it so that it's simple.
It is difficult, but not with them.
It can be.
No. Not with them.
Tesson Roofing and TessonRoofing.com, Cam.
My boy right there.
Brett Tesson. He is here for you. Whether you're looking for something that, like, it's just time for something like maintenance.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to look at it. It's been a few years. Now's the time to do that. Or if you get rocked by one of these upcoming hailstorms or whatever. Some of you all probably.
El Nino.
Yeah. El Nino.
El Nino means the Nino. Mm-hmm. So you know. It's scary.
And Nino means.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It means that it's going to shit on us.
Oh, my God. You don't want that. But they are the best in the business when it comes to roofing. They can apply this, like, nano shield, they call it.
It coats a baby.
It's almost like a spray paint, man. They put that on there. It reduces the temperature in the top level of your house or commercial building by, like, up to 40 degrees, Cam.
Pretty damn good.
They're like the premier retailer for nano shield of anywhere in the world.
And all the insurance companies use Tesson
all
Roofing
the big dog ones.
Funny how that works.
I know.
That's when you know you're the real deal.
TessonRoofing.com. Use them today, man.
And just so you guys know, I'm predicting this. In St. Louis, at least, we're going to get rocked by something hardcore this winter.
I don't know why you tell people that.
Because I'm pretty right on it. I'm just letting you know. We're due for something here. It's going to be a weird February tornado. It's going to be a weird January something where the weather's going to get really warm for a little bit.
Really?
It's going to cause all kinds of tornadoes and hail and all that shit. So if your house gets rocked, you call Tesson Roofing. It's going to happen.
So make
Not
sure.
trying to scare people.
I got
just
you.
You know.
I got you. So TessonRoofing.com. Ask about that nano shield. Do it today. Huge hockey fan.
Oh, God, yeah.
And you talk about self-made man.
Yeah, man.
That is Brett Tesson.
You're goddamn right.
We told you about Sparks. Again, our Canadian listeners absolutely use our promo code Cam Strick. Don't go to Seth. We know that, right? Avoid Seth at all costs. Unless you want what?
Your cat to die.
Oh, God. Really? You're going to go there right now with him?
I know, because my cat's like dying.
I
too.
know that. Yes, be careful with that.
Boo-boo.
And, of course, Bellman and Bellman.com. We told you all about our boy, Danny Boy. Say hi to Danny Boy.
Hey, Danny.
Say hi to Kenny.
Kenny.
And Dale.
Fucking Dale. Fuck Dale, go. God damn, boy.
Where you at, Dale? Hey, where's Darcy Hordichuk at? He's here right now on the Cam Strick Podcast, baby.
Hell yeah.
Fueled by First Farm. First Farm. Darcy. The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form. Use our link, firstform.com/CamandStrick.
They are the real deal.
Get your protein, get your bars, get your apparel, get everything you need from the one and only First Form.
Yeah.
Firstform.com/CamandStrick. Now to the interview. There's the real Hordy.
There's that big boy. What up, man? What's going on?
First off, I got to apologize to you. I owe you money. I got to send you money for the dry cleaning bill because I spilled coffee all over your fancy leather jacket that you had on the bus on the way to the rink. Do you remember when the bus hit the biggest pothole in North America and the coffee just went flying all over you?
Hey, That was the biggest, I think, pothole I think we've ever hit before. I was laughing when you looked over and you had the look of fear that I was going to get pissed, but that's why I don't wear expensive clothes.
I thought you were going to get another instigator penalty with Cam. I thought Cam was going to have to come in and defend me here on this situation. I didn't know what was going to go down.
I don't even remember you getting an instigator on me.
He did.
And I read that in Wikipedia. And when the fuck was that?
He got suspended, too.
Did you kick my ass?
Cam, you don't even know the whole story behind this shit, dude. So I'm obviously getting ready to fight you, and I'm like, okay, I got to get this one out of the way. And you're one of the guys that I just want to let sleep, but I'm like, at the same time, I got to try to get this under the belt. Well, it's like, I forget who you ran or what you did that game, but all of a sudden it's like 5:15 in the clock, and I'm like, okay, I got to get him now. And I grab you, and our gloves don't come off till like 4:50 or 4:54, which you know what that meant back then, right?
Inside 5 minutes, yeah. You get the suspension,
so
and the coach gets fined.
He got fined. Alain Vignon got fined $10,000. Dude, listen to this. He was so pissed. Called me in the office. Guess who got to skate in the middle of the ice and do down and back in front of the whole team because I got my coach a $10,000 fine. And of course, he didn't send me to fight. He didn't even know I was going to fight. He didn't even know what I was doing out there. But I'm like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And no, you pound for pound. I mean, everybody doesn't realize that me and you were definitely out of our weight class because of our size, but you hung in there with everybody, and nobody wanted to fight you because you were 1 ton tough son of a gun. So credits to your career and to what you did, because I'm a big. I'm a big fan of yours.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you're a little undersized, a little bigger than Cam's about 5'9". What are you?
I'm 5'11", dick.
What are you 6'1", Hordy?
6 feet, but yeah, I think on the stats I said I was 6'1".
Okay, listen, he got that pissed off about it though. Jeez. Like, I mean, $10,000. What is he making? Like $2.5 million or something at that stage? I mean, he got that upset about it.
Well, for a guy that's probably not producing a lot of points and has no value there, I'm sure that he was pretty pissed. So, yeah, no, I'll never forget that, dude. I got skated and I had to explain that he didn't send me out to fight after the 5 minutes. But yeah, it's one of those things you look back and you're like, ooh, that kind of probably sucked. That didn't put me in a good spot with my coaching staff.
That's so funny that you grab them and there's more than 5 minutes left on the clock. But by the time the gloves come off, see, they should have looked at the clock and been like, okay, we're not going to fine him. We're not going to suspend him because the altercation began, above 5 minutes left in the game. But whatever, they got you.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They were looking for every reason to pin me to the cross. Every game, I'd be like, "Okay, boys, if you don't start calling it, this game's going to get out of hand. I'm going to send the message." And they're like, "No, Hordy, calm down. Okay. Oh yeah. So anytime they got a chance to, and it didn't help that I got a 10-game suspension for bumping the ref, so I already kind of had a little go. Yeah, which was absolutely a dog shit call, and I still to this day said I didn't mean to do it. I was just getting ready to fight for sure, and I couldn't sleep for 4 nights, and got scored on that shift, and kind of went after the ref and said there should have been a call, and he stopped, and next thing you know, he did the old pretend I'm going to fall down thing. So
my God. It was Donald Fawcett, I believe, right? I have it somewhere in my notes. Mark Fawcett. Yeah. Sorry, the official who you allegedly bumped. Man, I cannot find video of this anywhere. Maybe
nobody could.
Yeah,
nobody.
There's
could.
no
nobody
video.
Could video.
So what happened?
Video.
What's the story with that? Because listen, we've had issues. Our other players on who have had issues with officials and have bumped officials, whether it's Dennis Weidman or something like that. Obviously his is
no, his was legit. Yeah,
legit.
That's different.
Legit.
Mine was
completely
just
different. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, dog crap. No, so I'm getting ready to fight Brashear, and I don't know if you guys remember Hanzus, but so I'm kind of at the top of the circle, like in our end, protecting my point man, and Hanzus kind of comes across and clips me, when he's playing in Philadelphia, and I fall down. Well, then my point man comes in and gets a shot and scores. So when the ref is kind of going to the penalty box, I'm just kind of yelling behind him, dude, that's a penalty. I know my game is done and I'm not going to see another shift if this goal goes through and it doesn't get reviewed. And, so as I'm kind of skating towards him, he just stops dead, kind of knowing that I'm probably behind him. And So I don't know if they had a lot of, I think from what I understand, I don't know the refs, if I remember what his name was, but there was a lot of issues, I think, back in the day with maybe what was going on with some of the officiating. And, it was just one of those things where they kind of used me as an example. I feel I'm not one of those guys to be aggressive and, to an official. I respect everybody, right? But in that situation, they definitely nailed me to the cross.
Yeah, listen, I believe the official on record was Mark Fawcett, because I spent so much time this morning trying to find this video. I couldn't find it anywhere because I wanted to know what happened. But this is 2002, so it's before coming out of the lockout, when all of a sudden you had Brendan Shanahan doing the videos and the player safety and all that. So I would imagine you had a hearing, right? And so you go into the hearing. Yeah. What were you anticipating? What were you expecting? And then what did they tell you? All of a sudden they tell you they're going to hand you, 10 games. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
I was blown away, dude. I thought I was getting, 5 minutes or 2 minutes. I didn't even expect anything. I'm not stupid. I know that if you touch a roughing official, you're done. But I just had, I was kind of so amped up, kind of going at him. I'm like, dude, that's bullcrap. That's interference. And then he just kind of stops. And then I just remember, just a little bit of a bump. And he does the old, let me, I'm going to fall down kind of, move.
Embellished, yeah.
And 100% it was embellished. To this day, it still bothers me this many years later that it was embellished.
We need the video. I need the video. They destroyed the evidence. Yeah. There's no video of this, Hordy. We'll never see it, So, everything else, your entire career is on YouTube except this one play, Even your goals.
Could find that video, if you could find that video here, we can have a little argument there, and I can go back to George Peros there and be like, George, in today's day in hockey, how many games would I get for this? And he'd be like, oh, Darce, that's 30 games. I'm like, well, then you should have had about 600 in your career because you did a lot worse than this.
We got to get you reimbursed for this.
I know.
10
games.
Hey, thank you. And while you get me reimbursed for that one, I got about 16 other suspensions that I'd like to get reimbursed for too. Like the Avery, when I get go after Sean Avery and he turtles and I throw about 15 punches when he's down. That one cost a little bit. And I got a few of those ones.
Was that after Avery? Did he run Korea in the other end of the ice? Is that what happened?
Yes, he did. Hey, and I got called out in the dressing room by my coach saying that was a selfish penalty. And I was just looking for a reason to try to go after Avery, like anything. And as soon as he hit Korea, I'm like, this has got to get me the green light. And I kind of just went straight off the bench. But I guess when I left the bench, the ref said that I had the intent to fight and there was no puck on the ice. So that's why they suspended me. But it was good. I got some good coverage. I was in Good Morning America that morning, and they said how violent hockey was and how rough it was. And I'm sure Cam could attest. He's probably had a few of those moments where he wanted to have a little payback on somebody.
No, it's those two guys that they're on ESPN. They have no idea about hockey at all, and they had their countdown list. And me and Jared Bull got into a long fight, and they bashed me. Me and him calling us goo. They bashed us for 30 minutes.
Around the horn?
Around the horn.
Really?
Yes. Bashed us. I'm like, just for a long fight. Nothing bad or anything. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
That is funny.
Hey, Darcy, watching the replay, I think your intent was to fight when you came off the bench there. Yeah. That probably was accurate. So how many games did you get for that? Because I remember you, first, it wasn't like you just went and grabbed him. You delivered a hit and then grabbed him, and he went down and turtled right away. But you got some massive rib shots in. Oh, yeah. How bad do those hurt? A rib shot. Does that hurt or no?
Yeah, you know what? If you look at what Big Mac just showed me, that rib shot he did on Brashear, those definitely hurt. You hit them in the right place. Your ribs are fragile, so you'd probably have to ask Avery if they hurt. But I was trying to break some ribs back then. So
fuck yeah,
I was just trying to land punches. I think at that moment, but you know what? In kudos to him. He definitely he was a great player back then, and he obviously. he did his job. You know, he was in character all the time, and he did what he had to do, and he survived a long time. You know, for a guy that size, he had a hell of a career, and you know, I got to take my hat off to him, because he pissed off a lot of people, but at the same time, he got the job done, and he got under everybody's skin, and had success doing that.
Yeah,
so.
no, he's hilarious on social media and stuff, man. I love his breakdowns. But he was mic'd up one game playing for the Rangers, calling you like a fucking bum or something. Oh. Like he was yelling at you and Shane O'Brien.
Oh, dude,
I mean, what was going on there?
Oh, it was so funny, because just me and him like went back and forth our whole careers. Like if you read his book, he just absolutely carves me. He thinks I was on crack or cocaine or some. And people don't realize, dude, I haven't even done weed in my life before. Like I won't even touch Tylenol. Like I'm not, I know my personality. I can't do any of that stuff. Good. So in his book, in his book, he talks about how he, you know, thinks I was just in character as well. I would just go up, you know, Cam, you probably know this. Before the game, I wanted to know who wanted to go and who didn't. And I'd be like, first shift, let's go. And then all the guys would be like, hey, Hardy, you know, I got a bad hand. Then I can breathe and I can like play the game, you know? So I was kind of like bluffing guys the whole time, just be like, okay, you know, and I'll never forget Belak's like, yeah, let's go right now. First shift. If you want to go, let's go. Let's do it. And he goes, tell Rippin too. If he wants to go, I'll fight him. I'm like, oh, hey, whoa. I'll tell you when we're going to go. I'll tell you, like, relax. You know what I mean? So sometimes you get called out and you're like, okay. So now I really got to prepare for this guy, because he's ready to go tonight. But no, you know what, with Avery, he actually, for my 40th, sent me a video. It was kind of cool, you know, just to saying, hey, listen, bury the hatchet, you know, congrats on being 40. He sent this really cool video. My brother-in-law actually knows him, and I don't know if they grew up together or what, but he got a video sent from him. So, yeah, no, I definitely don't take anything personal. He
sent you a video and said sorry?
Yeah.
Was it
really?
Was it a cameo?
Cool.
Was it a cameo?
Did you pay for it?
No, it was nothing like that. No, you know what? My wife, for my 40th, got Kevin Bieksa to reach out to just a whole bunch of players, and they put a video together, just congratulations. And it was literally like 10 Canucks on a video at the same time, like the Sedin twins and Jason Garrison and Mason Raymond and Tanner Glass and all these guys just telling stories about me, just ripping on me as a roommate, how I used to piss on the floor and do this and do that. And they're like, just all sharing these stories. Or do you remember when Darcy did that? So it's kind of funny. And then, you know, it was just kind of a reflection, I guess, of my career. And next thing you know, this Avery video kind of popped up, and yeah, it was pretty funny. He was really nice, and made me kind of feel bad for chasing him around for 15 years.
I love how you say, I didn't smoke weed. I wouldn't even do Tylenol, but I'd piss all over the floor in the hotel room. You know?
Well, hey, sometimes it's tough to control, you know?
Yeah, I got
you. Dude, no, I have to say, that's why sometimes I put a towel down underneath. I do. Yeah. I piss hard, and I'm sober doing it in the middle of the night.
Well, not 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, exactly. yeah, exactly.
Hey, so you
kind of sleepwalk, sleep talk, whatever you're doing back in those days.
You brought up Rick Rippin. Mm-hmm. And God, he fucked me up in a fight, man. Kind of busted my nose up and shit. I think he got kicked out of the game because he had his hand taped, his thumb was fucked up, and he still killed me. But how was he, man? Like, how was he as a guy? Were you close with him? You know,
I was really close with him. You know what? Like, I sat beside him on every bus trip, and we just talked about life. But you know who was really, really close, and kind of people don't realize this, and he took him under his wing and he let him live with him, was Kevin Bieksa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He, like, that's where I had so much respect for Bieksa, was, you know, after I seen what he did with Rippin, and just, he let him kind of move in when he wanted to move in. He let him stay. Yeah, no, it's a real thing, that whole mental health thing. You know, I've never kind of been one of those guys to say I believe this or that, and just, you know, no matter what you talk, I'm the opposite. I'm just the happy-go-lucky. Yeah. Like, listen, buddy, like, look what we have, and Ripper, don't worry about it. You don't have to fight tomorrow. But he loved doing it, and he wanted to do it, and like Jansen, like you said, he beat up everybody, dude. He beat up everybody, and I'm like, at some point, I'm like, no, Ripper, this guy, let me fight him, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, my job is to fight Stortini, and he's beating the piss out of Stortini. And I'm like looking around like, they don't even need me here. They have this Rick Rippin kid, you know, but he just, you know, he's from Crow's Nest, and he was just a tough guy, and he just loved doing it. And yeah, you know what I mean? I think everybody has skeletons in their closet, and it's just how you handle them and how you deal with them sometimes. And I just think maybe whatever it was, the mental health or whatever it was, it's sad to see. But I remember going to his funeral and, just all of us, how much we appreciated him as a human and as a hockey player. And it's just, that's where you realize that life is, there's no guarantees. And then what you think, what you're seeing with somebody on the outside isn't really what's going on the inside. And, no matter what we tried to do or what we did, it was just, the team worked around him. He would kind of take off and disappear for 3 weeks and they would come back. And for people like, think it's always money issues. He just signed that big deal, remember, with Winnipeg, right? Mm-hmm. So he's getting ready to move to Winnipeg. He signed, I think, a 4-year deal. And it caught a lot of people by surprise. And I think maybe just the anxiety of moving and a new city and, his personal life, whether it was his girlfriend at the time or whoever it was. And I think it gets a little bit crazy, but it's I'm glad there is places now that people can reach out to and talk about their issues because it's a real thing. But that's why I kind of turned. I got through hockey with faith and kind of my belief system, and I feel like that's kind of where I turn to a lot of the time when things aren't going the way it should be, knowing that there's a bigger purpose in life, and it's kind of got me to where I'm at, and I think it's very important.
Yeah, no, we had Bieksa on, and he really opened up about how he brought him into his house. Yeah. Oh yeah, and really, I remember him telling a story about going way out, like. He was living in a house like way out in the woods or something, remember? And he went out to go get him and just to check on him because they couldn't get a hold of him or whatever. So if I'm remembering the story correctly, it was a while ago when BX came on, man, but he really opened up about their relationship, man. BX is he's a different guy, man.
He's awesome.
He is. I like him a lot. He really cared about him, and I haven't heard too many people say anything bad about that guy.
Yep. You know what? I was just with BX. We were in my buddy's wine cellar, the Lair in Calgary. So here's what happened. I'm playing in a hockey tournament in Red Deer last weekend. Mm-hmm. And then I find out through my buddy Bobby, a good buddy of mine in Vancouver. He's like, listen, BX is in town for his kid. Mason Raymond said he'll come out. So we all went to, I forget what the Mercedo or Mercado in Calgary. Remember, Cam? We used to always go to that Italian restaurant, and it was the best pasta ever. So we all met up there.
That's debatable, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then we ended up going to my buddy's house. He has probably the nicest wine cellar I've ever seen, called the Lair. And I think BX shut it down to 3:00. I had to drive back to Red Deer at like 2:00 in the morning because my kid played at 9:00. And me, Mason Raymond, and BX were just sharing the war stories in life. And it's great to see how these guys after hockey, how they're doing and how they moved on. And it's a crazy journey we're all on. We're all still trying to figure it out, but it's definitely fun to be on this journey.
It's nice, like talking to this guy. Everybody has a different story, Like everybody's just doing different shit. They've come up in a different way. But remember, when Ripper died, and then it was like fucking Belak, and then it was Bugard, and we're like, what the fuck is happening here, man? That was scary.
Dude, that was the end of Tough Guys. Like, that was literally where they all kind of shut us down, and they're like, hey, if you're coming up, you need to wear a bubble. Like, we, Cam, just missed, like, I look at Gazdak. I did a charity event with him a few weeks ago, and that poor guy was just coming up in his prime, just beating everybody up, and he got in a few years, and then, boom, it was like, there's no more Tough Guys because of everything that kind of happened before us. And obviously the concussions with the NFL, right? That was another big part of it where everybody was, getting sued. So I think the NHL kind of seen that coming, but the game's not the same, but I got, when I went to Australia with the Coyotes there, I got the first fight of the game within 5 minutes. We kind of had it prearranged to give the Aussie fans what I was there to do and pump up the game. So they went absolutely nuts. And it was good to see, Brown from the Coyotes fighting, who was the guy? He was a rookie on the Kings there. It's an up and coming kid.
I remember the fight.
I'm sure the NHL's like, yay!
And you're like the ambassador. You're like the ambassador to Australia. We know you're the ambassador.
Oh, he's the ambassador. A couple things.
He's the they send you all the way to.
Guys text me all the time and they're laughing. They're like, "What the hell are you the ambassador of?" I'm like, I don't know. Life just happens, and you just go with the punches. And I was at the owner's house last night, the Coyotes owner's house, and it's funny to see all these young guys and Coyotes players. They're like, "Hordy, do you work for the team?" And I'm like, "Honestly, I don't." I'm like, "I'm still trying to figure out half your names here," and they're just dying laughing. Like, I'm everywhere with these guys somehow, but I became close with that new ownership group, and
that's good, man.
Yeah, it's just fun to kind of stay within the game a little bit and see everybody.
They can use a person like you, man,
shit.
inside that market. I mean, because I don't. It's like we know people there. I know Bill Armstrong very well. Clayton Keller, obviously, since he was a kid. Like, you got pieces there. I don't know why the organization is what it is. I'll never understand it. I mean, they're playing in a college rink. It's like everybody who plays in the NHL should feel like they're in the NHL. You know what I'm saying? They should all have the same experience that the guy who's a star in Toronto has when he walks into the rink and he's like experiencing, living out his dream. I almost feel bad for those guys, even though they're making millions of dollars,
You know what? Like, I will say it's a pretty cool place now to see the game. You know what I mean? In Tempe, because it was weird. It was kind of like when I played in Florida back in the day. Like, you'd go to a game and there was no no environment, nobody in the stands. So it's tough to kind of get up for those games. But at least in Tempe, it looks like it's sold out every game. So there's a little bit of that atmosphere. You're like, okay, let's go to War Boys. You know what I mean? And we're gonna actually hear the fans. So until the Coyotes do get a new arena, this is kind of the best situation. I'm just glad it's not in Glendale. So I'm actually going today with, I kind of hit it off with Bill and Kyla Armstrong just on this Australia trip. I didn't really know them too well. I kind of got to know Kyla, but just great people. But we're doing do you remember Tom Gallardi? He's the owner of the...
oh, yeah, we had him on. We had him on. The former...
Oh, did you really?
Owner of the Canucks, right? Or the Stars or something.
Stars, yeah. Well, he's opening up one of my childhood favorite restaurants called Moxie's in Arizona today.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to a VIP party, and I think Mark Wahlberg's pushing his tequila there. So we got a fun little event, but I asked Bill and his wife, Kyla, to come. So they're going to come out, and we're all going to go... hopefully enjoy some of those festivities. But I was telling my kids that we were in Red Deer at the tournament. I took them to Moxie's. Between me and my roommate, if we got more than 3 points, my billet would buy us a white chocolate brownie. So I'm pumping this up for the kids, and they're just like, "Oh my God, this is incredible! This is awesome!" And I take them to the restaurant, and we actually got it a few times, believe it or not, because we were just trying so hard to get this brownie. I took the kids there, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe it's a little different, when I was 17 years old. Maybe it was warmed up before," but they were laughing like it was half eaten. All the kids only ate half of it, and they're like, "Well, Hardy, I don't think it's maybe what you thought it was back in those days, but it got me to score a few points in those days."
That's all that matters, man. You're a mover and shaker, aren't you, dude? Like, did you have this like business acumen when you were young, when you were fucking fighting in this with the solar bears and all that shit, where you're like, if I make the NHL, like, I'm gonna meet people, I'm gonna move, I'm gonna shake, I'm gonna get business cards, I'm gonna do my thing outside of the realm of the hockey world?
You know what? If you talk to one guy in the NHL that I played with, every time I meet up with everybody, they're laughing. Like, I was just at the party last night, and our trainer Tony, he comes up. I'm talking to Cooley, and he goes, "Hey, Cooley, this is the only guy for the Phoenix Coyotes that ever got a car deal from Legends Cadillac. He's the only player in the their franchise that got himself a car deal and got 3 other ones for all the guys on the team." Like, I love the challenge, and you know how it is, Cam. Like, it's tough to make the NHL, and you don't know if you're going to make the NHL. So, kind of my whole life, I grew up, going to garage sales and just trying to hustle and buying and selling and playing penny stocks, and that was just kind of what I grew up with in a small town in Saskatchewan. So, what do they say? You can move out of cam sack. You can't take the kid out of the, cam sack. So I just it was always been in me. And to this day, as we talked about at that charity event we did in Nashville, that's where it's at for me, is just wheeling and dealing. And, I just bought a house a couple of days ago from, an ex-player, and I was going over there to help him rent it. And next thing you know, I walk away with me buying it and remodeling it. So I feel like everything just kind of works out the way it should be. And, whatever you manifest kind of comes comes to fruition. So
yeah, I see your real estate transactions, man. Like you're buying like $4 million homes, dude. Like I mean, you got it going on over there, man. I love what you're doing.
So do I.
And really, you're a testament for a lot of players that it's not all about hockey. I mean, there's a whole nother life after hockey where if you play your cards right and you're active and you're good to people, and you're involved in the community, like you can have some success after hockey. It's not all about hockey all the time, you know?
Yeah, and you guys can attest. I mean, like I'm flying on frickin' Southwest to these charity events, and you guys are flying on a private jet. with probably one of the most successful guys in the world. But here's the fun thing: those kind of guys want to be surrounded with guys like us. Like they know when shit goes sideways, we're there for them, and we're I feel like tough guys are fun guys. So. Not too many tough guys have egos. We got to show what we did in the past, and
yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we get to enjoy it. So.
Yeah, we're all tough guys.
Hey, were you frugal with your money? Like when you were playing, we're like, "Fuck, man, I'm not gonna buy this new suit. I'm gonna go to Men's fucking Warehouse, like that kind of stuff." Or were you like, "No, I'm gonna just take all this money. I'm gonna put it in different things."
You know what? I feel like early on, you know how it's always like Canadian. Oh my God, this is so expensive. So your first couple years, and let's be frank, right? Like we're making what, $450, and if we got sent down, we're making $65. So we're on that two-way contract our whole career, and we're one punch away from kind of our career ending. So I wouldn't say frugal, but you know how tough it is. Like people don't realize in the NHL, it sounds like it's a lot of money, but after taxes, there's half gone. When you go for dinner with the team, every bill is, like $5,000 or $7,000 where you're like, holy crap, you can't just say, hey, I'm going to Fridays. I mean, you're eating at all the best restaurants with all those guys. You're doing all those great things. But, you'd try to sneak off and maybe buy a cheaper suit, and then all of a sudden you wear it to the rink, and the boys are like, holy crap, Hordy, take your tip top suit back, like get some style. You know what I mean? Like, oh, sorry. Okay. But no, I spent money, and I probably enjoyed life more than I should have. But the reality is you can always make it. You know what I mean? Now I think I'm more fulfilled and I'm more happier. It's weird because now whatever I hunt, I get to eat. Before it was like, what it was like, Cam, it was just kind of surreal. Like you're like, making $25,000 every 2 weeks, and you're like, okay, I want to go to Disneyland. You go to Disneyland. Oh, I want this car. I want this car. And I think that's why you see so many people that are successful. I don't know if they're really fulfilled because you get whatever you want, and it's not fun anymore. Now I appreciate the trips that I go on. I appreciate, the car that I get, and not that I didn't before, but now it's a little bit more meaningful. So, but no, I spent a lot and made a lot of mistakes. I bought 8 houses when I was 23 years old in Arizona, and then we had that, that big, when things went sideways and lost a ton of money. But that's part of the journey, right? I've owned 15 houses, and imagine trying to play hockey knowing that the tenant that you thought was renting it was all of a sudden a place to shoot crazy videos. So I get cops calling me saying, hey, listen, we think that this is like, we're doing a sting operation on this house. And I'm like, okay, I got to go fight tonight. And next thing you know, my house is getting, hit up by the cops.
Were they doing porn? What were they doing?
Yeah.
Porn?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It was a house in Maricopa. It was 4,500 square feet. And when we finally got the people evicted, they had like fake palm trees and a couch in there, and probably enough toys in there to start their own sex shop. But
did you ever go creep in there like, hey, what's going on?
Wait,
anybody need any help?
I was in the area. I just thought I'd stop by.
I think I was getting ready to play the Kings or the Blackhawks or one of those teams, so I wasn't around. But yeah, what a crazy dude. Journey. So it's not always what you think owning real estate, but now I'm like in a certain zip code in Arizona, and that house you're talking about that I sold for 4.2. People don't realize this, but I bought it for 1.5 and put about $1 million into it. But I went to 4 different banks trying to get a loan, and nobody would do it. They're like, nope. So we kind of like, it's all connections and it's relationship. And a bank not only took a loan on that house, but we bought 4 other ones before the market got hot. And kind of believed in us. And next thing you know, we just timed it right to the market and flipped it. And basically made on that house what I would have made in 6 years in the NHL. So that was a blessing. So
good for you.
I love that. I love that, man. Real estate's where it's at, as you know. Hey, listen, I want to get back to the fighting real quick because you talk about, we were talking about all these, the tragedies that took place with a number of these tough guys and how it affected tough guys coming up. But like, you were always like very protective of the tough guy role, like outspoken about it and saying, hey, listen, then I'm just going to go into Vancouver and I'm going to abuse the Sedins or whatever, So you took that personal, man, but you were very vocal about how necessary your role was in the game, right?
Yeah, no, I was trying to keep myself relevant and keep myself a job. And Vancouver's like, no, we don't need a tough guy no more. Remember after that series where we lost to Chicago, we tried to bully teams, and then they went the next year where they ended up losing to Boston, where they actually did need a tough guy. So when I did get traded, I let Vancouver know that I'm going to come back and, run the Sedins. Not that I just wanted, and that's where they brought in Todd Fedoruk out of retirement just to fight me in preseason, because I was like, I'm coming, everybody keep your head up, because I'm like, you guys want to play this game, but I just felt bad because I didn't want to punch Fedoruk because he just kind of went through what he did. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's just coming back because he has to come back. And so it was a little bit awkward because I grew up fighting Todd Fedoruk, but I was just outspoken because I just really believe that every team needs a tough guy. And for all the fans and all the people out there that say they don't, before every game you'd hear like Taylor Hall, hey, this guy's going to hit me. And hey, and then all of a sudden Eberle, hey, watch this guy, Darcy, he just stuck me. And I'm over there like, okay, so I got to go after this guy. I got to talk to this guy. I got to do this guy. Mm-hmm. But
didn't Taylor Hall say he didn't even know what to do? Like something about like he didn't even know how to protect himself. Like early in his career, wouldn't even know what to do. That's why he needed guys like you.
Hold on for dear life.
Well, it's funny because I this summer my family friend is Ken Johnson, so we've kind of been watching at Michigan and kind of been on this journey. Well, we were just he just brought Braden out to come skate with like Connor Bedard and Nugent Hopkins and Barzell and all these guys. So at the end, I just said, hey, can we get a quick picture? So my son gets a picture with Bedard and Ken Johnson. And at the end, I kind of grabbed Bedard in his jersey and I'm like, listen, so this is what you have to do. Like, and he goes, I really don't think I'm going to have to fight. And I'm go, listen, you're going to have to fight at some point. So you might as well figure it out. And I'm telling you, if you grab an inch this way, you're going to take one right on the button. If you grab an inch this way, nobody can hit you. You know what I mean? So by the end of it, he was like, okay. And it was kind of fun. And I did the same thing when we were up in Michigan with Owen Powers. I had about a couple cocktails and it was about 10 o'clock at night. And his dad's like, hey, Hordy, show him how to fight, man. I'm like ragdolling him on the front yard and like getting the old swing, the Taidomi swing going. He didn't even know what the hell happened. He's like, okay, slow down. Walk me through this again. For the big guys, you got to get them off balance. So push and pull.
Crosby just fought in fucking preseason, man.
Exactly.
It's there. Mm-hmm. But I will say this with you, though. I will say this with you. Like, you can talk about your fighting all you want, which was just entertaining as hell and scary. But you fucking crushed guys with hits. Mm-hmm. And that's the scariest thing going. When you're fast enough, which we were, and you're strong enough, and you knew how to hit, and you knew the timing of the hits, that makes you scary more than anything, man. Guys were more worried about you knocking them out with a hit behind the net. And you knock them out with a fight, but you're hitting, dude. And you can tell these kids, man, that's still there. But it's an art. It's a skill set to hit. Explain that.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I had 2-2 on my line. And for, I think, 2.5 years, me and him, I remember one shift. We put out 3 guys in one shift. It was a separated collarbone. Another guy fractured his, like scapula. And we were just the energy line, right? And we just knew that, if we got scored on, they would throw us up next. And it was like, Toots, chip it in my corner. I'm going to hit him. And half the time we ended up hitting each other and the guy because we just were like, there's no puck on the ice. Let's go. And, I'll never forget my first game with the Atlanta Thrashers. I'm sitting next to Jeff Odgers and I'm on the bench and the guys are just like, Hordy, just first shift, just take it easy, just get the puck deep, relax, have fun. And we're playing the Montreal Canadiens and a guy comes behind the net, Petrov, and I just get off the bench and I take about 5 strides and I blow this guy up like I've never hit anybody. And it was on every playoff commercial back then. It was in the Gatorade commercials. I blow up Petrov, and and the whole team's just going like bonkers. And it was like the first shift of my ever, like my, first shift in the NHL. It was probably still to this day the biggest hit of my life. And then from then on, it, everybody in the stands was like Hordichuk. And, I went from playing one game. I bought myself an extra 10, 12 games. And Cam, you could attest to this. Like, it's funny. I kind of backed up and nobody wanted to fight me. And I was like, holy crap. Like, nobody would drop the gloves. And it was kind of weird because now looking back, I just had no reputation. So guys had everything to lose, and I'll never forget my buddies, went to Costco and bought a big screen TV. And then we're getting ready to take it back after I was playing Toronto, and I was getting ready to fight Domi. And I spear him off the draw and I cross check him kind of because I want to let everybody in the building know I want to go. And he's like, "Don't you disrespect me, kid." And he wouldn't drop the gloves, And that's when I was like, holy shoot, like I got to try to get a fight in this, in the league before I get sent down. I was just trying to fight anybody. And finally, Char ended up going. And then from the Islanders, Webbs. I ended up fighting Webbs. I think he broke his thumb on my forehead.
Stevie Webb?
Stevie Webb, yeah. That was my first.
He'll hit you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was running around. Yeah. He was my first, I think, guy that gave me a chance. And from then on, people kind of started to realize, oh, hey, listen, maybe he is a heavyweight or a middleweight or whatever they wanted to call me back then.
Hey, but who got you though in a hit, and it was his signature type of hits, and I'll never forget it. And you bring up
Keith Ballard.
No. Well, was that the one where you kind of like tried to hip check and you hurt your knee on that one in Edmonton? I'm talking about the Dallas Drake hit when Drake got you. Wasn't it him that got you when he was in Detroit? And I remember you getting up and you didn't even go and like try to start a melee, which is all you see in today's game. Every time there's a big hit, there's like a line brawl that ensues. But was it Dallas Drake who got you? Do you remember that hit or no?
So here's the funny thing. You're like everybody else where they're like, hey, I recognize you. And they're like, are you Darcy Tucker? And I'm like, no, I'm not Darcy Tucker. I'm like, everybody gets me confused with it. No, I've never been hit by Drake. No.
Okay. Well,
Hordy, we're watching this mug right now, and
did he hammer me?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Andy?
You didn't see it?
Oh, yeah, he caught you. It wasn't that big.
Did he?
He caught you. It was a clean hit. That was Dally Drake
coming
down the wall.
Those were his signature hits.
Yeah, he's coming down the wall. He catches you a little.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's almost like in today's game, some would maybe consider that blindside, right? Because
you're coming around the
net. It might be a penalty in today's game. Just go check it out. 2008, April 12th, 2008, Hordy. Go look at it.
And he likes to tell you to go check out the history.
Send me that video.
I'm going to send it to you.
That's funny. No, I didn't remember that hit. But I remember Claude Lemieux blew me up. Remember when Claude was coming back as like a 50-year-old or whatever, however he was, when he was with the Sharks?
Yes.
And listen, like I played with Claude, and I wasn't, dude, he took a run at me from across the ice. I was blown away that he actually tried to like hit me. And dude, like I tore some cartilage in my ribs after that. I was like, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't think he would do it. So that's the one time I remember kind of getting run pretty well, but I didn't get hit too often. But you have to send me that video.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Andy likes to humble everybody.
I don't. You're gonna look at it right when we're talking here. I'm sending it to you as we speak.
Hey, how funny is this? Dallas Drake. That's who you said hit me, right?
Isn't he in Arizona now? He's
in Arizona.
He's
we are partners. Yeah, we are partners. We just actually are closing a deal together. We're going to do a skating treadmill, a rapid shot, and it's going to be a synthetic ice. It's just going to be a facility next to the ice den. Him and Dave Ellett are the other, they're the partners in this. So we're going to kind of just a way to give back to the kids and have something close to the ice den so these kids can be the next Auston Matthews, as every parent thinks they're going to be. So
of course they do. Hey, when I was just getting in the league and playing for Windsor, I remember watching all your highlights, and I went and you had your own website with Hordichuks and Horda hits and all that stuff. And I remember being a kid watching that, being like, this motherfucker, like he's crushing cats. I'm like, God, I got to be like that.
Dude, that website was incredible. I feel like it kept me around. And like,
I know.
That's kind of like what Paul Bissonnette started doing the end of his career. And, I'd go around with the camera and the team, and we'd get off the plane, or we were at rookie dinners. Like, I had so much crazy fun footage, and I just wanted to kind of bring the fans into the game. And it's amazing how many people talk about my website back in the day. But then the NHL was weird. They shut me down and they just said, no, you can't do this anymore. And then remember, we partnered up with the NHL, and then all of a sudden it became like, oh, let's do this. And everything kind of turned in 2012 and 13 but no, it was like Hordy fights, Hordy culture, Hordy checks. And I'd always, but Mel Engelstad, that was the fight where I put it on my, website back in the day, and it just blew up. I think we had over 1 million hits way back in the day where, it was my first fight kind of in the IHL and kind of put me in the map. But it was,
dude, listen, imagine what we knew about YouTube back then. We could be millionaires right now just by setting up our own account, dude. We had no idea.
God. No idea.
I know.
Oh my God.
You still can.
Yeah, no, Keith Ballard was the one that kind of got me. So I'm just coming back and threatening I'm going to hammer the whole team. And it was like my first shift where I'm like full speed trying to blow him up. And I should have known better that he's going to duck and throw the hip check. And I blew up my PCL and MCL on that hit there, where it kind of took me out of the game for a little bit. But that's part of the game, I guess.
What do you do?
Hey, did Bugard eye gouge you? Did he like gouge your eye out?
100%, dude. I thought he ripped my eye out. I thought I lost my eye, dude. When he went down in that scrum, because here's how it all started. Like, he was kind of really the only big guy that I hadn't fought. So my writer from Florida, basically, what was his name? Rizzo, or I forget the guy's name.
Richards, maybe, or something?
Yeah, something like that. He goes to Minnesota and becomes the writer there.
Oh,
so
Russo.
Russo. It's Russo. He's like Hordichuk, how come you haven't fought him? And I'm like, because the guy can't skate. Well, there's no reason. Like everything that people would say about me, I started saying about everybody else. I'm like, he can't even get to the puck, and like, why would I fight him? And if you look at the video, that game, he must have heard my interview, dude. You look at the game, he hammers Kessler, which
he did.
I would have never, ever defended Kessler, but I'm like, okay, he's wearing a Canucks jersey. I have to do this. And next thing you know, boom, like, I have to fight him. So I kind of like just jump him and grab him and just try to, I think I caught him off guard, and I basically like threw a couple and threw him down. And while I'm under the pile, like, I had a scratch like all the way under where he's just trying to rip my eye out. And I'm like, not much you can do about it. It's Derek Bugard, but anybody else, I would have suckered him right there in the spot.
Yeah, dude.
You don't like Kessler?
Oh, Kessler's a good guy, but I just he wouldn't be my top 10 people to hang out with.
Why?
Top 10.
I don't know. Everybody has different personalities, right?
Yeah.
So I think he was a great player and on his own page, and it was between BX and Burroughs and Mason. I would just go in that direction.
Yeah, no, I got you.
But I love the way Kessler played the game, though. I'll give it to him. He definitely played the game hard, and he was one of those guys that sacrificed his body and did a lot of good. I think it's pretty intense right now. He's coaching the Caesars kids and
Little Caesars,
Little Caesars, and I think he treats it like an NHL team over there with those kids. So they got some good programs going on. So it sounds like he's doing good.
We had a kid move to Michigan to play for him, and then he got there. Like, they were like living in the house. I think he was living in what's the kid's name? The defenseman for Anaheim. Good player, man. He's like probably
Fowler.
Cam Fowler.
There you go, baby. I got you, Andy. Don't worry.
So the kid moves into Cam Fowler's house, and then all of a sudden, I guess they were told by Caesars or Kessler or whoever, oh, we can only have so many imports, so now you can't play for us. So now the 10-year-old kid's like scrambling. It's like, now what do I got? And then he ended up going to Chicago, and I think he's playing with the Mission or whatever. How old are your kids that are playing?
So I got a 14-year-old. Yeah. So it's his Bantam draft. Yeah. And we actually just went to Red Deer and went 3-1-1. So it was fun to see an Arizona team go out there and do well. But Yeah, he's getting some attention. Cam, you would love the way he plays. You guys would love it, man. He throws the body around, and yeah, it was funny. After one game, he had a few different agents come up to him and want to obviously see if they can represent him. But I said, listen, he's got the best agent, and that's me.
That's right.
I've been through it all, done there, did my own contracts, did my own deals. So, but
you
you
did your own deals. You did your own deals.
Oh yeah, you love this story. So I have a 3-year deal done with Rutherford. I'm with Nashville. They trade a 5th rounder to get my rights. Carolina. That's when they had, remember Jesse Bulleries. Yeah. So I kind of fought Jesse a few times and did well against him. So I think they were trying to bring me over there. And it was like 650, 650, 650. So I kind of get in the horn and start calling around to different people. And yeah, at the time, Mike Gillis wanted to be my agent. And then he all of a sudden got the GM job. So I said, hey, Mike, I know that you want to be as a client. You love the way I played. You know, is there a deal to be done? And yeah, I got myself 850, and
no agent fees.
No agent fees. Wow.
And yeah, they were kind of shocked that they're like, we have this deal agreed, and they were shocked that I ended up pulling off the deal. And I actually, nobody knows this story, but when me and O'Brien were getting put on waivers, I always kind of knew the owners of every team. I just kind of had a relationship. You know, the owner from the Panthers took me to the Hamptons, and he just you know how it was back then, Cam, everybody in the U.S. loved, you know, the fighting and the hitting. And so every sign in Florida was like adrenaline rush and me blowing up a guy. And so I went to the Hamptons with him and hung out with him and his wife. And so it was kind of cool. And the same thing happened was in Vancouver. I got to know Paulo Aquilini. And when I got put on waivers, Paulo called me and goes, hey, is there anything we can do? And I said, well, I have a deal done. Mike Santos, who's an incredible guy, you know, saved me. He was in Florida at the time. And I said, Mike, like, can you trade for me? He goes, yeah, we're working on a deal, but they want a little bit more than we want to give up. So I called the owner of the, you know, Paulo Aquilini. I said, hey, Paulo, like, can you just please give me a chance? I don't want to go to Winnipeg for the Moose and be stuck in the minors after the Canucks. And he's like, we'll make it happen. And boom, I went from probably being stuck in Winnipeg and to, yeah. And then I get a call from Pete Hordichuk, and he's like, hey, what can you tell me about O'Brien? So I got O'Brien picked up by the Nashville Predators. I'm like, listen, you guys dealt with the Tutu show. You think Tutu, like, he's nothing like Tutu. And they're like, we're hearing this about him and this about him. I said, no, you know what? He's honestly a great guy. You know, maybe he didn't the coaching staff or, you know, whoever is in charge, and maybe they didn't like that. But he's a good soul, and boom, yeah, Nashville picked him up. So, yeah, you'll have to ask Obi about that.
We had him on.
We should have put another.
No, the women in
Nashville. In his pockets.
The women in Nashville are like, "Oh, thank you, Hordy." Did they come up to you and say thank you very much? We love him, dude. He's cool as shit. Hey, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Okay. As a third, fourth line guy, tough guy, you're scrambling. You got to fucking perform every night. But when you go and you're hanging out with owners of the team, you're not talking to the GM, you're not talking to coach, but you kind of bypass them. You're always with the owner. Like, the GMs and the coaches kind of look at you in a different way because you're doing that? I'm just curious.
100%. Dude. That's the way the game of life was played. As soon as you become a fan favorite, you know what I mean? It just puts pressure, man. There's too many kids out there that you could trade for. There's too many kids. But if you get a little bit of that relationship with the owner, like, how tough is it to all of a sudden get rid of me out of Florida when I'm at the Hamptons hanging out with the owner, and he's, you know, Jordan Zimmerman at the time. This is great. You got to Google this guy. He had the biggest advertising agency in the country. And this is a true story. You can ask my wife. We wake up at 5:30. We have to be the first one at the gym. It's like June. I'm just trying to take a month off. I haven't lifted weights. You know, back in those days, you didn't take. And here this guy is. He basically wants to compete against me and show me how strong he is. You know what I mean? And this is the last thing I want to do, you know, is work out. So he's over there bouncing like 200 and some pounds off of his chest. And I'm doing the Charles Poliquin. Remember, like the 4-1-1 tempo, you know, 4 down, 4, 3, 2, 1, explode, yep. 4. Yeah. Well, this guy's doing like 10 more reps than me. I can't keep up. And I'm like dying. So then I start to bounce it off my chest. Like my arm curls. Now I'm just swinging it like him. Just to, you know, this guy's the owner of the team, and I'm supposed to be this big, bad, tough guy. So we get the workout done. Now we're on the beach. We're doing sprints against each other, dude. I swear to God, this guy's like at the time 60s, and I'm like 20-some years old, and he is just jacked, chiseled, and we're sprinting against each other on the beach. I'm like dying in the sand. Obviously, he's done this his whole life, and finally, thank God, this is when you know there's a God. He blows his hamstring or tweaks his hamstring, and he can't run no more. And like, I went from doing this for like 3 days out of my 7 days there. And my wife said, "What are you doing? Like, what's wrong?" I got to take a nap. I'm taking naps now during the day. Like, it was hysterical.
Hey,
but
hang with the owners, man.
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hang
Nothing
with
wrong
the
with that at all.
owners.
Hey, I got some things I got to get through with you, man, because there's some interesting stuff. First off, Keenan, did you like Mike Keenan? Did he like you?
Yeah, no, you know what? Mike respected me.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
You know what? He definitely liked me. If you look at probably my numbers then back in those days, him and Barry Trotz probably gave me the most ice time.
Yeah.
But he would play these mind games, and I don't think I got the real Iron Mike back then, you know, where he was crazy. Like, he definitely, there was some things going on, but it was kind of those weird times back then when Dale Talon, or no, who was or Dudley? Rick Dudley was my GM.
Yeah.
And then Mike Keenan was on the bench. So whenever Rick would be in town, Mike wasn't allowed to be on the bench. And then remember Torchetti kind of took over. So it was this weird dynamic. But I'll never forget, we were playing in St. Louis, and I didn't block a lot of shots back then, but I did the flamingo on Pronger, and he took one off my foot, and I knew my foot was busted. And I wasn't running around that game, and Iron Mike came up to me. He's like, "Go fucking do something. Go in." I go, "Dude, I think my foot's broken." So he's like, "Get off, then get in the trainer's room." So I go in the trainer's room. You know, when you take your skate off, all of a sudden my foot just went boom and swelled up. So then he comes in the room. He's like, "We need you out there. Come back." And I'm like, I'm trying to tell the trainer, tell him that, like, we're all scared. We're like, "Holy crap, what do we do?" And I'm like, "No, I know my foot's broken." And they're like, "Well, it's not showing in the X-ray." I'm like, "Listen, my foot's double the size. I can't even get the skate." So it was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Where you're like, you know, a few times I turned the puck over in our end. You know, or it was in the offensive zone, you know, by the hash marks where you turn up, and I tried to do that cross ice pass, and it got picked off.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him like grabbing me in the dressing room and like making me stand up, and he turns my back around. He's like, "Hordy, what number are you?" And I'm like, 16. He's like, "Exactly. Get the puck deep, hit guys, and get off the ice. That's your role." And I'm like, he goes, "I don't want to see you ever do that. You're not 99, you know?" And I'm like, "Okay, sorry. So like, it was one of those things. I knew my job for Mike, and it was just chip it in, hit guys. If anybody needed to fight, like, there's no trying to, you know, let me see if I can kill penalties, and let me see if I can, you know, get an assist. It was like, here's your little box, and don't you dare ever, you know, move out of it. But yeah, he respected me. I respected him. And yeah, those were the good old days.
Hey, what's the story with Billy Tibbits? Like, he punched you on the bench.
Billy Boy.
I think he got 4 games for
Billy
that.
Boy. I like Billy.
I forgot those
How's
days.
your mother?
Yeah,
How's your mother?
How's your mother?
Fucker.
How's your mother?
What a crazy story Billy had. That would be a great Netflix story. You know what I mean? I didn't realize how much stuff he went through and how crazy it was. But my beef started back in the day. You remember Yermer Yager? Everybody remember Yermer. But when I was growing up, a guy from my hometown was Tyler Wright. And Tyler, you know, would come back when he was drafted with the Oilers. And I would train with him. He was 20 and I'm like 15. And I'm like in the gym because his dad was my coach. And his dad was a school teacher. So we'd use the school gym to train. And I'm like, holy crap, he's lifting 55s. And I'm like lifting 70s. I'm like, I can make it to the NHL. So I kind of grew up following Tyler. And that's where my belief came that I could play in the NHL. But fast forward, it was the first NHL game I've ever went to where it's like the Edmonton Oilers and the Penguins, right? And I'm standing outside, you know, where like the players come on the bus. Mm-hmm. And there's only a few of us, like Tyler's brother, me. And everybody, like, remember those names like Kasperitis and all those guys, you know, Lemieux and Brown, and everybody's signing my hat. And I'll never forget this. Yager just walks right by me and doesn't sign it. I'm trying to get him to sign it. So I don't know if he had a bad game or what. But the day that I got in the NHL, like I went straight up after him. And I'm like, I had this in my head. Like, it's funny how life works. And I went and kind of stuck him, and boom, they send Barnaby out to fight me. And next thing you know, me and Barnaby had a tussle, and I think I did pretty well. I think he said I knocked out his back molar and his tooth last time we did a charity event together. And then I went after Yager again, like the next game, and they brought up Billy Tibbits to come after me and fight me. And so I ended up fighting Billy Tibbits, and I just kind of would get in his head, and I think maybe I crossed the line with whatever, because he basically came by the bench and suckered me. So I kind of embellished it. You could see me throw the arms. I felt bad probably for doing that, but I think I got him 2-10 in 3 games or whatever it was back then, and got us in the power play, which I'm sure we didn't score on.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not.
No, yeah.
Billy Boy.
Yeah.
Billy Boy. I follow him on Insta. I talk to him all the time, man.
Do you really?
Yeah, and I don't even know him, but I kind of got connected with him on social media and stuff like that. He's a good dude, but he went through a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of grievances. Billy does.
He's
big
different.
time.
He's different.
You'll have to say hi to him. Say, hey, Hordichuk wanted that.
Oh, he listens.
Say hi to you.
Oh, he's listening.
Oh, does he?
Oh,
He listens.
damn right he does.
Oh, that's too funny. Oh, that's great.
Hey, I got to ask you about all these first-round picks, or first overall picks that were in Edmonton, because you were there like when Hall was there, but Yakupov has come out publicly and saying like you would pick him up from the hotel every day, you drive him to the rink, you took him shopping, you bought him shoes, like what was it about you that kind of like said, hey, I'm going to take care of this kid and put him under my wing a little bit?
You know what? Like it was weird because all these guys, right? I took care of Radulov, all these kind of Russian. I kind of felt bad for some of these kids, right? But everybody would take their pregame naps, and I think probably took the game a little bit more serious than I do. So, like we'd get to Disneyland, and here's a kid from Russia that's just like, I just want to go to Disneyland, and we're in Anaheim. We play the next day, so I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean? And I would always look for the guys that would want to do stuff and go places, and certain guys that would just stay at the hotel and probably watch game tape or do whatever. I was just gallivanting, and it just happened to be at the time some of the younger guys. But I'm a firm believer in life. What goes around comes around. So my mom would always say, hey, listen, remember the people on the way up, because you see them on the way down. And I felt like it was a blessing every day I was in the league, and I just did whatever I could to try to help the team. And you know how it is, Cam, as a tough guy. We really didn't have nobody was competing for a job. Like deep down, players won't say this, but when a guy gets injured, now you're on the power play. You know what I mean? So you're kind of hoping the guy doesn't really come back if you're a skilled player. Oh, great, I have this is your livelihood. So for me, I didn't really have that. There was one tough guy, and no matter what, nobody could just take your job. Where right now in today's NHL, every day you can lose your job. And, that time that you have to sit out because of an injury, somebody gets called up, and if he does well, you're gone. That's just the way it is nowadays. So, I think I just kind of wanted to try to bring the team together. And it was one of those things, the more things you do together and the more things that make these guys feel comfortable, then that's kind of what will help bring the team success. And
I get
at least,
I get it, man. When I was playing here in St. Louis, my hometown, all these young kids would be at training camp. I took them all out, dude. I'd get a limo, and then we packed the limo, and then the limo would be sparking. Then I'd order another limo, and we
It was actually my limo.
It's Andy's limos. I took out all the guys, man. They're your brother, even if they're not gonna. No chance even making the team. But I made me feel good. I don't know. I loved it. Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if the organization liked it that much, but
You're like, hey, look at this guy. Looks like he's pulling a piano around the ice. What happened to him last night?
He's 19. He's 19 years old hanging out with me at the bar. It's all good.
Yeah, another team building event out in St. Louis. Hey, listen, that brings guys closer. I don't care what you say. If I owned a team, I'd be mandatory guys night out once a week.
Goddamn right.
Hey, was Taylor Hall a good guy? I mean, first overall pick, they come in with so much pressure. They probably are put on a pedestal right away. Edmonton could never figure it out. They were given first-round picks for 15 years straight, or first overall picks, whatever. They could never win until they got McDavid and Draisaitl. That completely changed things a little bit. But what'd you think of him when he got there, or when he was a young kid?
Yeah, I think the young Taylor Hall kind of was trying to figure it out. Like I remember I was his roommate for a little while, just a really talented kid. But, I remember one time we were giving out like the hard hat after the game and he was in the shower and, we won like 5-2 or whatever. And, we're getting ready to give the hard hat out and guys were like, well, where's Taylor? And he was in the shower. And I was kind of like, Taylor, like, listen, I know you maybe didn't get your point today, but out of respect for some of these guys, like, come back in the room, So I kind of, would have some moments and be like, hey, I think it's not always about points. It's not always about this. It's about the team, So, we'd always kind of maybe battle here and there to say things. And I think that's part of the game. But, I think everybody grows up. It's just one of those things when you come from junior and you're the go-to guy, you're trying to figure it out. And, but I will say, being around that Connor Bedard kid and just, I mean, he is just one of the most incredible human beings. This guy is polite. He stayed after for like 30 minutes and taught my kid how to shoot the puck. Like he went above and beyond. And here's a guy that was playing 5-on-5 with my kid. Then he went to 3-on-3. You know what I mean? Every time you'd always see the older guys like Barzal would leave and Nugent Hopkins would leave. And then he would go to a 3-on-3 game and it's like Kent Johnson and Bedard and, Crystal. And then, he kept getting smaller and smaller, but these guys just live at the rink, man. They just love the game. And I just put the biggest bet of my life in gambling on Connor Bedard winning the Rookie of the Year. Yeah, exactly. The Calder. So
I'm sure I really tell Logan Cooley that when you're hanging out with him at the owner's house.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I did put a little bet on him, but he's plus 750 and Bedard's minus 125. So either way, it's I've got the top two. I just can't get Hughes to come in there and win, but we'll be having this conversation. If I win, it'll be a paid vacation to Dubai or somewhere crazy.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're gonna let you go. I promise, man. Dubai. Hey,
you're gonna go to Dubai?
The NHL might be going there. I hear the NHL might be going. You're gonna be the ambassador of Dubai next.
Yeah, I know.
This guy,
hey,
the ambassador.
Jeez, I just want to be the ambassador of my house here. I can't even do that. But
what kind of dog you got?
It's a small dog.
He's sitting right here.
What is it?
He's my big guard dog. Bruiser's his name. He's a 7-pound Shih Tzu. Nobody's had a Shih Tzu before. They are the greatest dogs in the world. He is such a good dude, man. Bruiser. Every day, I love it.
Hey,
he's my happy place.
Okay, a couple more things. We'll let you go. I promise. Man. Hey, the Luongo story. What did he say to you in the locker room? Like you were like chirping a bunch of guys, and he said, "Don't worry, boys. He's going to get traded tomorrow." And then, sure as shit, you got traded the next day.
No. Louis wouldn't stand in net for any of my shots because I couldn't control my shot. I couldn't control it. I used a different stick every day, and so every time I'd come down, he would step to the right, and then I figured that out. So then I would just start shooting at the right, just trying to blow him up. But you know what? So many guys were intimidated of Lou because he was the captain and he's like Luongo. Well, I played with Lou in Florida, and then I played with him in Vancouver. So I'm like in the back of the plane, we'd play poker and we all put $100, and then Lou would start making all these rules. Like, you can't do this. You can't. I'm like, Lou, how much did you put in? He's like $100. I'm like, exactly. Shut up. We all put $100 and stop making all the rules. Like, and like team dinners, I would make them like, pay for team dinner. I'm like, Lou, you're the captain. This is the role of the captain. I know this is the only team you bet on, but other teams, like the captains always play. That brings us closer. By the way, you're making $64 million than you should. Like, I just gave it to him like all the time. So it was a love-hate relationship, but I ended up getting traded because they thought we didn't need no more toughness, and they had enough toughness, and that stuff happens.
Yeah, you think you have enough until you don't have any, right?
Exactly. But of all the places you played, like from Florida to Atlanta, and then like the Arizona thing, like describe the fan base, and like was Atlanta like? Now they're having some renderings of a new rink and maybe the
different part of town.
Different part of town. Like, was Atlanta like will it work? Like, haven't we done this enough?
Yeah, you know what? It was weird, Atlanta, because like imagine living in Duluth and going to the hockey rink. I mean, there's days we get stuck in traffic for like 3.5 hours, and you just kind of miss the first period. And so what they started to do was, we all have to stay next to the hotel. So we had practiced down there, and then we'd stay. I think it was the Embassy Suites right next to the hockey rink there, and because that traffic is just so crazy. Yeah, will it work? I don't know all the behind the scenes. I know it didn't work back then. Would I love to see it work? Of course. But the game's kind of in a different place than we played. I remember going in our locker room, and we went from the big Gatorades to the small Gatorades. So we're like, oh, okay, this is good. Yeah, who knows? I'm kind of rooting for the Coyotes to get it all figured out here and to get an arena here, and before we start expanding anywhere else. So
yeah,
we'll see how that all plays out.
They'll figure it out. I've texted with their owner several times actually about trying to get him on, man. So eventually, I hope they get it figured out so he comes on with us and we can shoot the shit with him because he seems like a great guy. But
you should call Alex Jr. He would come on.
Yeah.
He's kind of running the show right now, and he's a young guy, and he's a spark plug. So
yeah, for sure. Hey, I got to ask you about one guy. Because I had McGrattan on my list, and we're not even going to get to that, which is okay. You know, I saw one of your fights with him. But one of the most interesting players to me ever is, and he's interesting because you never hear from him, you never see him, but you played with him. I'm curious what impression he made on you, is Danny Heatley in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was young. I think he was a rookie when you played with him. You know, when he first came in, it was before, you know, he had some, you know, personal adversity, you know, with the situation. So, you know, and before he was scoring 50 goals too. But like, did you know he had it in him? Like, was he a guy who would hang out? Was he quiet? Like, what was he like?
Yeah, no, Heats was a great dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just a fun guy to be around. And what I couldn't understand is, like, I'm training with Charles Poliquin, and I'm lifting all this weight and doing all these exercises, and then I would go battle with Heats in the corner, who just wasn't that big of a guy. And you couldn't get the puck off of him. He was such a strong dude. Yeah, it was just kind of one of those things where you're like, holy crap, this guy, like he's talented. And, I think another guy that kind of fell off the face of the earth was that Adrian Foster. They both played in the same program, and Foster ended up going in the first round to the New Jersey Devils. And did you? Yeah, never ended up panning out, but yeah, no, they all kind of grew up in the Calgary program. But yeah, no, that was my line mate for a while, a long time, was Dan Schneider. So that whole thing that kind of went down in Atlanta, it was just a kind of a crazy story. And if you read the book, I was the first one on the. I went to the hospital just to kind of support Heatley and to support Schneider, and I remember them wheeling Dan Schneider by me, and he had a tube in his head, and he was just swollen. And I'll never forget that image. But it was kind of surreal, right? You don't realize in life, you know, how fragile it is, and that kind of shook me up back in the day. One day you're playing with the kid, and he had such a promising career, and I just love the way Schneids plays. Like, I just picked the kid on our team because it reminded me of the way he played the game. Like, just he did it all, block shots and just, you know, go to the hard areas and hit guys. And he wasn't a big guy. He was like a Rick Rippon, and he dropped the gloves with you too. And yeah, how that all went down was you know, kind of sad, but
damn.
I remember meeting life, his parents. Right? His parents came through St. Louis. They were at the rink actually, like a year or two later. I remember talking to Dan Snyder's parents, man. But I always really respected Danny Heatley, man. I loved his game. He was an unbelievable player, and you know.
Hey, you had Covey there too, didn't you?
He did. Kovalchuk too, but Heatley went through a lot of shit, man. So, but people have always spoke so highly of him, man. His teammates always really liked him too, you know. So.
No, everybody loved it. He was a guy's guy. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, Heater, where are we going today? It's like, hey, boys, let's all go for some beers and like, let's go have fun. Yeah, no, it wasn't about him. It was about, you know, bringing the team together and having fun. And yeah, it sounds like he's doing great. I think he's in California, the last I heard, and has a kid. And yeah, it sounds like he's doing really well. So good for him.
Well, man, hey, man, we appreciate you coming on, Hordy.
You were
Seriously,
great,
dude.
man.
Like,
people are gonna love this.
Let me know about any business advice too for Andy and I, so we could like get on some of this shit. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
No, yeah,
you know how it is, though, man. Like you're doing a good job.
Yeah. No, your network is your net worth. Yeah, surround yourself. Kind of have been there and done it. And if any of the listeners are listening, you got to check out one of my companies. It's called Canada to USA. So not only do we help Canadians around the USA, we also help Americans with real estate around the USA. And it's just ex-players and ex-people that we refer, any real estate needs. And if you're ever looking for a house in Arizona, that's what we can do is help you out. So
tell them what that is again. What is it? What's the website?
Say it one more time.
Canada to USA, Canada to USA. And there's a membership program we usually charge you guys can sign up to. It's usually $199 a year, but it's kind of better prices than Expedia. So if you ever click on our travel program, we have a ton of people that are using it. So it's just discount. Disney, you can't find discounts in Disney's. You can't find usually hotel discounts. Expedia, but we'll beat Expedia's prices. So it's just a free membership we're giving away right now for these people that are, doing their podcasts, and it's a way for us to collect your data and kind of show you what we're doing and how we help people with travel insurance or real estate. So just like in the NHL, right, Cam? Like when we get traded, you'd be like, hey, who's your real estate agent? Yeah. Who's your doctor? Who's your lawyer? Like we just kind of filter through the best people, and when we hear them over and over again, we're just trying to help people out and connect them with, great people. We do currency exchange for people going to Canada or the US. We teamed up with OFX, which is working with the NHL right now. So it's a fun company and it's blowing up, and it's good to be able to kind of get back a little bit.
Good for you, man. And you know what? Next year too, hopefully Andy gets the invite back, which is my decision to go back to Nashville. I hope you're there. And
Andy,
we will draft.
If he doesn't take you, Andy, I'll bring you.
He's gonna fly commercial.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's gonna fly commercial now. All right, Hordy, you're the man, dude. Yeah. Keep doing your thing. We'll touch base, dude.
Yeah.
Boys, look me up if you ever want to come to Arizona, and we'll see if we can get you out to the Phoenix Open. I know we didn't talk about that.
Ooh. But, the waste management, is that the same thing? The waste management?
Yeah, it's the waste management Phoenix Open. It's a bucket list item. And
when is that exactly? When is it? It's the same time every year. Remind me.
Yeah, every year. Yeah, it's that February 8th, I think, to the 11th. Okay. So we
party.
We'll see you then.
Yeah. Mark us down.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't realize, but it's not only golf. We have Duran coming this year. We have Dirk Bentley coming this year. We have Kygo coming this year. So after the golf, it's even a bigger party. And I know you guys would definitely love to come and hang out with the rest of the hockey guys. So love to have you.
Hey, Darcy, Dirk Bentley. My kid was in a hockey tournament over Labor Day weekend, and he was at the rink, man. His kid plays for a team, I think, out of Colorado maybe, or Nashville, one of the two.
He's a hockey guy.
And he was there with this kid.
He loves hockey.
Different age group and different hockey altogether, but like he was there at the rink, man. So, big hockey guy.
When you talk to Tutu, ask Tutu about going on tour with Dirk Bentley, and they thought they can drink back in those days, but I think after a week of Toots on the tour with Dirk Bentley, I think they're like, okay, time to go home. This is getting fun, but
that's awesome.
All right, big dog, go do your thing, man. We'll touch base.
All the best, man.
See you, dude.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC, options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Darcy Hordichuk here on the Cam Strick Podcast.
Hordy.
Dude, he's cool as shit.
Yeah, he was really tough.
He says he was undersized, kind of like you.
I thought he was bigger than me.
A little bit.
He looked bigger than me.
A little bit, yeah. He
threw down the pipe, dude. Both hands. Knew how to eat.
Western boy.
Western shit kicker.
Back when you really had to, like, it wasn't the OHL. It was like the WHL.
Fighting everybody in the
where all the tough guys were.
Yeah, there was a lot of tough guys.
Barry Melrose was a tough guy back in the day also, man, coming out of the dub.
Listen, if you're in the early 2000s, dub, Q, or O, there's killers.
What about the 80s?
God, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the 90s?
Yeah, in the 90s. Yeah. But like in the 2015s, no.
Well, there's probably a couple.
Okay, but back then there was a shit ton. Every team had 2 or 3.
What's your advice to tell kids nowadays in terms of how to play? Because, you know, it's like what used to get you noticed isn't as valued as it used to be.
No, I think being a tough player is a unique thing now. If you have skill, because you have to have skill. Like, so if you have skill and you're able to get in there, like, God, all these coaches and GMs are like, fuck, he's a little different. He's just got that killer in him. Mm-hmm. How do you teach that? I don't know, but you can. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying to go toe to toe with him. I'm just saying, like, just getting in there, getting in the mix, like bumping off guys and holding the puck and doing this and sticking up for your teammates and like hitting and just being there, being mean, being hard to play against. Like, that's a unique thing now. And so if you have a little bit of that killer in you, like, fuck, man, if you have a pretty good skill set and you're going against another guy that may be a little more skilled than you, but you are a fucking go-getter motherfucker, they are going to take you.
I know.
They're going to keep an eye on you. You don't have to be a killer, but just be aggressive.
I like what he brought up about Rick Rippin, too, man. Anytime we
Ripper,
can kind of, like,
remember
Rick, you know.
We were talking about Ripper, Bugard, Belak. My God. One summer, it was like 2010, wasn't it? We saw these deaths. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, it was.
And not to say we're at the end yet, but, you know, listen, we're actually seeing some fights.
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
been some pretty dang good tilts. Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of fights down in the American League and stuff.
Alex Gallant, a little shout out. I like your brother Brett, too. Alex and Brett Gallant. One of the 2 toughest guys.
How do you remember Brett Gallant? It sounds so
he's
familiar.
Tougher than shit.
Did you play with him?
Against him, yeah. Okay. I never fought him. He's played in minors for a while. I thought he got called up for a couple. Oh, no, he did get called up with the Islanders, I think, and knocked out somebody. But yeah, those 2 kids, Alex and Brett Gallant, I'm going to give you a little shout out. Alex had a nice scrap the other day with some dude.
Really good scrap.
Throwing fucking bombs. Pretty cool, man. I like those 2 guys. 2 brothers, tougher than shit. Little shout out, baby.
Big shout out. Any relation to Gerard Gallant?
I don't think so.
Who was tough back in the day,
Yeah, he was tough, too. Yep. He had that infamous fight after Probert and Domi went. Probert and Domi went mad, and then Domi's like, Probert got cut a little bit, their first fight in MSG, and he's fucking doing this, blah, 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 blah. And then Gerard Gallant's like, fuck all this. Playing for the Red Wings, like, jumped a guy, then another brawl started right after that. It was awesome.
But I like how Darcy, man, he spoke up like a lot of other fighters really didn't at the time, publicly. And being like, you guys are all trying to get rid of, like, fighting, whatever. Then I'm going to go back to Vancouver. You guys let me go. You don't keep me. I'm going back to Vancouver, and I'm going to abuse those Sedin twins.
Yeah.
And they won't have an answer. Remember? And then they signed, who do you say, Todd Fedoruk maybe? For like a day or something in like preseason when Hordichuk was coming back there.
Yeah, and that's when Todd was at his end. And Todd Fedoruk's the nicest guy in the world, by the way. You got to get him on, too.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But
he broke his face a couple times.
No, well, Bugard broke his face.
Is that who did it?
Yes, it was. Wow. And then he kind of went downhill from that. That was tough.
Yeah, but he was legit tough, man.
Oh, God.
I remember Todd Fedoruk.
Killer.
Yeah.
I remember being in the American League and during the lockout in 2004, and I was riding a bike pregame playing the Phantoms with Albany. And Fedoruk broke his hand. And I'm just on the bike and my like warm-up stuff. Like, me. And he walks by, and I'm like, God damn. He looked like
he
a
was
square
jacked.
box. Like, I'm
really?
like, whoa, boy. I'm like, those are the guys I got to deal with. Like, okay, Cam, you're going to have to.
What were they saying about you?
I was 210, 212. I wasn't that big. Fedoruk was like 240. So I wasn't intimidating with my size. But I'd fight everybody. It didn't matter. And I hit you hard.
Oh, yeah.
But they had Cote at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like yep.
Oh, yeah.
To me, I like Riley, man. He's a good dude. I was on Riley's podcast, and I go, man, I got to get you on the pod. And he goes, yeah, for the second time.
Who? Oh, Cote, not
Cote,
Riley. You
Riley.
said Morgan Riley.
No, Riley Cote.
Yeah, okay.
And I go, oh, yeah. And I'm like, we never had him on.
No, we haven't had him on.
So what's he talking about?
I don't know.
I think I had him on my radio show.
We got to get Cote.
I go, Cote. I go, Riley, like, I'm thinking, like, no, that's completely different. I had you on a 15-minute radio segment. Right. We need to have you on the podcast. He's a good dude.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, he's cool. He coached the Phantoms and stuff like that for a bit, too. When he
retired. And he's doing a great job with his podcast right now.
He's awesome.
I was talking to Chief Craig Berube about him recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I bet you Chief liked him.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Goddamn right.
Hordichuk and Ryan Kessler, they don't seem like they were best of friends.
Yeah. I can see Kessler could be an annoying.
Listen, Kessler came on, and I will say this. We had a great episode with Ryan Kessler. You want to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
And I really found a respect for him. He's been through a lot of shit, physically trying to, that'll take its toll on you mentally.
Totally. When
you're constantly rehabbing, you're dealing with the injuries he was dealing with. But he came on our podcast, and I'd say the first 10, 15 minutes, he was very almost sounded like, okay, I don't even want to be doing this type thing, But he was always very respectful and lining it up. And then he just settled in, and he gave us a fantastic interview, man. He was excellent. So I like Ryan Kessler, man. He's not for everybody, obviously. Yeah. I don't know the whole dynamic teammate-wise, but, he was a hell of a player, good old American, played on a lot of those USA, international teams,
Yeah, I like him. He was great. I think I did say something to him I know you get down and out, man, but do you ever just get on your computer and look up your bank account?
He's got a lot of money in there.
Though.
I know you did. I know you're serious. But you think money is everything.
It's not.
And you think money is just going to make you happy no matter what.
It's not, but it should help. Okay?
It should help.
It should help.
It
so
does
you're worried
help.
about yourself, fine. Your kids are going to be fine.
Right.
Anything medically,
you don't have to be okay. You don't have to go to work.
You don't have to go to work. You don't have to do anything. You follow your kids around. You're doing pretty dang good.
He's coaching.
Okay? You're not asphalt sealing in the fucking summertime, not seeing your kids.
Waterproofing,
asphalting, all that shit. No. You have millions upon millions in the bank.
Painting.
Money is not everything, but when you don't have it, it sure is.
Yeah. Painting fences,
fucking working your ass off, not seeing your kids, coming home fuck, paycheck to paycheck, struggling. He needs a new this. We can't get that yet. Wife's pissed off. She's fucking doing this.
Being a police officer in crime-ridden neighborhoods.
Get out of here.
Crime-ridden neighborhoods.
Riddled neighborhoods in St. Louis, man. He's got to come home. PTSD every fucking day. You get home and you're not making that much money, and you're dealing with hell on earth. Sometimes you got to sit back and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I got it pretty fucking good. I know your mind might be messed up. I know you this, that, and the other.
But
sometimes
you're not talking about Ryan now. I mean, it's just in general. I think, he's probably doing pretty good. He's coaching his kids' teams. And
you're doing all right.
And he takes it very serious.
I just think this goes for everybody. Sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, I got it pretty fucking good.
Just look at it.
I got it pretty fucking good.
Yeah, yeah. What else stood out? From Hordy.
He was talking about, God, what was he talking about? Man, just some of the, he had a lot of drama with coaches. Right? I'm like, why do these coaches not like you? It's like you're a perfect guy to coach. I'd be like, some of the
Who did he have drama with? A couple of those Edmonton coaches, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I just felt like he had they fucking bagged him
Ralph
after.
Kruger.
So he took a penalty on me one time.
Even Barry Trotz got mad at him.
I know.
When he went and stuck up for Paul Correa and ran Sean Avery.
Yes. And I'm like, whoa,
that had to be Barry was his coach at the time.
I don't remember doing kind of stuff like that. I don't remember anybody really getting mad at me. Maybe Andy Murray did a couple times, but Lou certainly, God, Pete DeBoer didn't give a fuck. Go do it. So it's just weird when he's like, hey, I just try to stick up for my teammates, and the coach yelled at me. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't remember the coach ever yelling at me for sticking up for the teammates. So it's weird.
Fatorik or?
Yeah, he jumped somebody or did something.
No, Robbie Fatorik. Did he ever?
Oh, Robbie was awesome.
Never got mad at you.
No. He told me not to fight Colton Orr one time.
And did you listen?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Because you did fight Colton Orr.
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah.
5 or 6 times.
All right, so that was great, man. We got some other good stuff,
cool.
too.
Yep.
I want everyone to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and
YouTube now.
YouTube now. Hey, subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah, no.
We're going to get that out there. Brody's going to get that out there, man. Let them know that, hey, we are on YouTube.
Yes. Yes, we're on YouTube. You can see us. You can watch us. I know, if I watch a podcast, I like to watch Joe Rogan. I can watch him. I like to see who his guest is. You know what I mean? So we get it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like, fuck, we've gone so far without doing video, so now we're going to do it.
I want to give Brock Besser a shout-out, too, man, because he got a hat trick, early in the season. 4 goals, whatever it was. And
3 is a hat trick.
Yeah, it is. But he got off to a great start, man, last year, and he's dealt with a lot over the course of the last few years, the adversity and the mental grind with what he was dealing with personally. You go back to his rookie season. I remember this guy was scoring so many goals his rookie season, and if he didn't get hurt late in the year, he probably wins that Calder, and then his dad got sick and everything else, man. So I pull for people like that, Cam.
Yeah, so do I.
I care about people.
You care about Andy, and then it goes down, and there's a gap.
That is not
and
true.
And then, like, everybody else down.
Oh,
That's
my God.
good.
Say you don't mean that. Like, please.
I don't mean
Please
that.
say that.
I don't mean that.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by who?
First Farm.
Hey, tell them our link.
firstfarm.com/Cam Strick, baby.
Yeah. Have to use the link. Like, you got to tell them.
You have to.
Like, really tell them, like, to use it.
God, they got everything. Look at all this shit. I mean, you want to be healthy. You want to feel good. You want to be horny. You want to have a healthy sex life. The more healthy you are, the better that all is.
Cam's like, oh, he's blue collar. He lives in a $4 million house. He's a blue collar guy. This guy.
I mean, he was blue collar. It's like he's wearing like fucking.
He's not.
He was. Hung out with him
They're
Nashville.
like $800 shoes, dude.
No, they weren't. No, we even talked about that. You don't spend money on that bullshit.
First Farm.
Those blue collar, baby.
First Farm.
First Farm. Good
Get
stuff.
it today. Firstfarm.com/Cam and Strick. Of course, the Illinois Recovery Center, Cam, 888-743-0971.
Okay, you know, if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know somebody. Get them in there.
Yes.
I'm telling you, they'll work with you.
Yeah.
They'll help you.
Yeah.
Call them up. Email them.
Call them today.
They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Just see what they have to say.
Yes.
You can't wait that long.
No, you can't.
Like, I'm telling you, they're spiraling out of control. Get them in a safe zone. That's what that is.
It's kind of like a chill zone, like we used
The
to
safe
have.
zone.
Safe zone.
But you got to work for it yourself.
Explain the difference.
You can't be like, I'm going to do it for my daughter. I'm going to do it for my wife. I'm going to do it because of my work. You have to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's it, or it ain't going to work. Have that mindset going in. You do it for yourself. And doing it for yourself, you're doing it for everybody else. But if you don't have that mindset, I'm going to do it for my wife. Well, I'm going to sneak away with this because she might not know. I'm going to do it for my daughter. Well, she doesn't know if I'm doing it. No, you do it for yourself.
Well,
remember that.
That's some of the best advice you've ever given.
What advice do you give?
I'm just saying it's some of the best advice you've ever given.
Are you being serious?
Oh, 100%
okay.
serious.
Sometimes I don't know with you.
Oh, my God. Like, you just gave great advice, and you're like, I'm saying you just gave great advice. You have to do it for yourself.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
dude.
be so sensitive.
Yeah,
on
that was
bad.
very sensitive.
I know, my bad.
Yeah.
Well,
just do it for yourself. You can't do it for everybody else.
no, you could act like I'm doing it for my daughter. I'm doing it for my son.
Although
no, you do it for yourself.
I can understand how people say I'm not living like this anymore. I'm making a change right now because I do have kids, and they need me.
You do it for yourself.
Did you see that 9-year-old kid slap his mom in the face over and over?
She was doing crack.
She was doing crack on the street. 9 years old, dude.
Sad
Like that's where you got to do it for not just yourself sometimes.
You think if your mindset
That 9-year-old kid, you saw that.
If your mindset's anything but yourself, it makes it more difficult.
I get what you're saying.
Because I was doing it for my hockey. I was doing it for my mom. I was doing it for my wiener not working and my girlfriends. Didn't help. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to die. I need to stop for myself. That's what stopped me. So
It wasn't working?
No.
Man.
No, It took a long time. I tried to go to cold turkey. I did this. Fucking Suboxone, though. Hey, Suboxone's hard to get off of, too, but
Man.
try Suboxone out. Talk to Chrissy about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Seriously.
Well, you can do that, 888-743-0971. You can email them, info@IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
Hell yeah.
Do that today. The one and only Brett Tesson, man.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes I just don't even know where to start. There's so many different things to start off about Brett Tesson. But again, get yourself a new roof. Make sure it's taken care of. No hassle. Free estimates. You don't have to worry about it. It's good for 10 years.
Damn
Minimum.
Right.
And ask about that Nano Shield. That cool coat, man. They spray it up on there. And so, next summer when it gets 100 degrees again, it won't feel like it.
Yeah.
It's going to feel great.
Save money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the bottom line.
And you'll save a lot of money. Energy bills, all that type of stuff.
Energy bills are a pain in the ass.
They certainly are.
Help yourself.
Yeah.
Help yourself.
888, that's Illinois Recovery Center. But again,
Call both of them.
TessonRoofing.com. And
Get sober and then fix your roof at the same time.
hey, both are here to help you just in different ways.
No doubt about
You know
it.
what I mean? I'm saying the first form. Everybody's here to help you.
No,
Mentally,
they are.
physically, peace of mind, all of that. Sparks will help you too, man. Get that Sparks. Use our promo code Cam and Strick, USA or Canada. And this works on the new model as well.
Hell yeah.
They still have the old model, but they have the new model. Don't let Seth sharpen your skates and ruin your weekend and ruin the tournament.
He'll ruin
right?
a lot of things.
He will ruin a lot of things for you.
Don't
allow it to happen. So Tesson Roof, or excuse me, God, I keep going back to the other ones. Sparks, skate sharpening.
Get together.
Promo code Cam Strick, sparks.com, man. That's the website to use. SPARX.
Yeah, easy peasy,
Don't
baby.
go to Seth.
Don't go to Seth. Ruin your
No,
weekend.
go to Bellman, though. Bellman.com. Get yourself a new car in time for the winter. They got everything for you. Located where?
Troy.
And at Bellman, you get no...
Swinging dicks.
But you do get sushi and flavored water, man. They got everything for you. All in Troy. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side. You can just throw a rock and you can hit it, man. They've got selection for everybody over there with Bellman and Bellman.com. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Again, subscribe to YouTube.
Yeah.
These hats, by the way, can be available. Go to our website, camandstrick.com. Order yourself a hat and hook yourself up, man. And let's keep this thing rolling.
Damn right.
Support our sponsors and everything else we have going on. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Cam's TikTok.
Man, I got to figure. Bro, did you find that motherfucker get back to you? Using my TikTok account. At least he's not being a weirdo. Like creeping out women and shit.
Probably your brother.
No, he doesn't do that shit. It's some fan probably.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. It's all good. You haven't fucked me that bad so far. But he could be messaging chicks and shit. Say, hey, it's me, Cam. Like, fuck, can you look at his messages?
Yeah, well.
He might be fucking creeping women out.
This has been the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 260. Right, Brody?
Yeah,
260. Baby. Thanks for supporting the Cam Strick Podcast.